What do you call a dog with no legs?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. He's not going to come anyway.
What does spinach and anal sex have in common?
Some Popeye joke.
If you were forced to have it as a kid, you'll hate it as an adult.
Oh dear.
God, let's go on.
Good evening, Internet.
Welcome back to another episode of In the Doghouse, the podcast that wants you to know it can't be a hate crime if you love doing it.
Ring the fucking bell!
Housekeeping.
Buy the merch. There are good t-shirts on the website. There are a couple of hoodies left.
Bosh, yeah, only a couple.
Buy them.
Yeah.
Get them out of my house. I'd love you. Love you millions.
Get them out of my house.
They take up so much fucking room. So, yeah, sales pitch over.
Yeah. Please never move into sales. Never move into sales, all right? I'd buy these cars. Why? I don't fucking want them here.
Taking up so much room.
Look at them. You see how many we've got? It's insane. Yeah, you got me all twisted now. Massive shout out to the patrons, as always. Oh, yes. You can join the Patreon for as little as a couple of quid a month, Marlon, can't you?
You can.
You can.
And what do you get?
You get access to the Discord server, which is, as everyone can fully well agree with me, who's on there, is madness. Absolute madness. It's evidence. It's debauchery. It's the worst of society.
It's the worst.
And the best. There's a lot of support goes on. It's a wild place to be. And yeah, it's all the...
There's people getting cut open on there.
Yeah, Marlon, please, we're trying to sell this. The cartel beheadings. Yeah, there's some wild shit on there. I mean, me and you are both on there. The whole fucking team's... The whole team's on there. It's a good laugh. We have a good crack on there. And also, what else do you get for being a Patreon, Marlon?
You get entered automatically into the Pit Viper giveaway.
Yeah, boy. End of the month, over last Friday of the month, we give away 2 pairs of Pit Vipers. We going live from the bar now.
Oh, tight.
Live on the YouTube channel.
Thank you, Slink.
Yeah, we're on there attempting to be live streamers now because that's what cool people do, apparently.
Yeah. And we are cool as fuck. What are we going to fix next time?
What are we going to... should we start putting the bar together properly? Like stripping it all apart and putting the new bits up that we want to do. You can literally watch me and Marlon do rubbish DIY. It's actually a good laugh. If things don't go well, I get very angry. And
I'll bring the disc cutter.
Everyone seems to find that fucking hilarious. Everyone was like, when the TV wouldn't link up, they were just like, wow, he really is. Yeah, how the fuck do you deal with that, Marlon? He's
Beer, mainly beer. Yeah. Just don't ask.
Imagine just the podcast just for an hour and a half, but we're doing stuff in the background and it's not going well. So you get to laugh and we get to fucking cuss. So yeah. And also, if you're a top tier patron, you get 10% off the merch, which is always
10.69%.
10.69. Wild cunt. Yeah. And so yeah, if you join the Patreon, links in the episode description. It's only a couple of quid. Don't be a tight cunt.
Or a fuck-faced peasant.
If you love what we do here, please support us financially because we don't get paid by Spotify because they would never pay us to do this. And also, and finally, a massive shout out to the sponsor of this episode, the AUTOMOVER. Marlon, what does the AUTOMOVER do?
The AUTOMOVER picks up a car, moves it from A to B professionally.
I know. He's
insured.
He's reliable.
Reliable. And I mean, that is rare in this day and age.
It is, yeah. We were literally just talking about this earlier, how hard it is to find somebody reliable that'll actually be there when they say they're going to be there.
The live tracking.
You love that live tracking.
It's cool as fuck.
Yeah, man. It's accurate.
Like watching the Amazon delivery. Where the fuck's my car?
Yeah, but it's not even like he's 8 stops away because he's not a lorry. He's not one of these double decker cunts. It's like, yeah, it don't matter if they touch shags, not mine. I don't care. No. You can literally watch it live move. It moves on the tracking.
And you are a dedicated load.
A dedicated load, which is the main thing. Exactly. You're not going to be another tick-off list on the roster or whatever, or just like yeah, sorry, mate, we're not going to get down to you because I ain't got enough time left. No, there's none of that nonsense. It's like, you're the only load. You're the only one he cares about for that day. It's getting done come hell or high water, and it's going to get looked after properly, not just rammed up on the back of something to like literally pointing down over the cab of some Scania while he just rams it off at BCA or whatever. Yeah, no, you're going to get the full professional service that is the AUTOMOVER. We banged on about him enough on this show. You should know by now, and if you don't know, get to know, for God's sake. You can get 10% off by putting ITDH in the vehicle description.
70% off?
No, Marlon, every fucking time. I know it looks like a 1, but it's not. It's 10% off if you put ITDH in the vehicle description. Check them out at theautomover.co.uk. And big up the AUTOMOVER for sponsoring this episode. Marlon, who are we joined by tonight?
The AUTOMOVER!
Hey! Do you like that little ad read?
It was pretty average, to be honest. I'm joking. It's really good. Thank you for taking my money. It's the most expensive fucking seat I've ever sat in. Like 20 grand deep in advertising costs.
Don't tell the
it's
listeners.
really nice to be here.
I'm trying to get £2 out of them for Patreon. Don't be giving figures away, for God's sake.
Really good money, well spent.
Pleading poverty in every Oh, there's no money in podcasting. Yeah. Well, welcome to the show, man. Thanks for coming down.
Thank you very much for having me.
I thought it was about time that the main sponsor of the show got, I think you've been a bit of an elusive character. Everyone keeps, whenever I see people, they're like, who is the AUTOMOVER? And I'm like, who is the AUTOMOVER? He is omnipotent. He is everywhere and everyone.
We travel far and wide.
They're like, every episode? I'm like, every damn episode. How? I don't know. Why? I still don't know.
I've said it before, I said it again. I think it's one of the best forms of advertising. So thanks for helping us share the company.
Thanks for supporting the show. You and all the other sponsors. We do say it obviously jokingly a lot, that without the sponsors and the patrons, the show wouldn't exist, but that couldn't be more true.
It's the absolute truth.
All you'd need to do is look at our books and be like, oh, shit, yeah. You really don't make any money out of merchandise, boys. Yeah.
No.
Marlon, all that work I do for nothing. Yeah. Anyway, so thanks for coming down, man. I know it's been a bit of a trip. It's, you're a busy bloke, and just finding time for us two idiots in our little shed means a lot.
That's all right. Thanks for the free beer.
That's all right.
That's great when you're not paying for it.
Yeah,
that's fucking true, isn't it? Most expensive fucking pint I've had.
God, cheaper than blows, more expensive than London. Anyway, let's start off with you, man. How's your week been?
Busy. Do you want a rundown of where I've been this week?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
Right,
talk me through it.
Okay, Monday.
This is your sales pitch.
Monday. London at 8 o'clock, down to the New Forest near Bournemouth. From there to Exeter, back to Weymouth, back home. Tuesday we have been... Fuck me, I can't even remember.
Is it all blur into one?
It's very blurry. Tuesday we have been some places. Wednesday.
And we've done some things?
We're going to move on from Tuesday because I genuinely can't remember. Wednesday.
Covered many miles.
Yeah, Wednesday I picked up vehicle picked up on Monday night, went to Chertsey, just on the outskirts of London.
Ugh.
Not too bad. That was for ITV.
Oh.
So, been really, really lucky. We won a job with ITV a few weeks back through a client of ours. We moved a camper for Ant and Dec, Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
So we had 6 weeks of basically moving it around the country. Saturday morning, it had to be in places for rehearsals, and then Saturday night, we had to go back and collect it once they'd finished the show because it's all live. That's led on to a couple of other bits, which is really nice. So we've been doing some other sort of vehicle transportation. They do a lot of competitions where they give cars away.
Oh, right. So you've managed to get yourself into that madness.
Yeah, we're sort of breaking the doors down, and one of the things I've really pummeled hard and actually what's helped grow the business is just doing a good job. We're, no matter what it takes for our side of the fence, I'll try my damnedest to be where I'm supposed to be at the time I say I'm going to be. And that's how we've sort of grown historically over the last couple of years and sort of doing work.
I think things like that go a long way, don't they?
Yeah.
If you go in that little bit further, it does go a long way. And people are like, hey, man, this guy turned up when he said he was going to be here.
Things was delivered when they said they were going to be delivered.
And he doesn't stink of piss and fags. This is amazing.
Nothing's rounded off the car that's been delivered.
Yeah, right.
So, actually,
and live tracking.
And live tracking.
And live tracking. So actually just doing what the fuck you say you're going to do goes a long way.
Yeah.
And I'd really promote it to anybody that does anything. Just do the thing that you say you're going to do. So that's won us, a few jobs, and really grateful. So this week, Wednesday, been in doing another like vehicle transportation prize that they're giving away on an ITV competition. So yeah, Wednesday was all revolving around ITV. Thursday, same job, same vehicle, same competition. In London,
It's the job that just keeps on giving, baby.
job that keeps on giving. In London for 8:30. That vehicle actually went live on this morning, which is quite cool. Drove it into the studio, parked it up. So it's like an interesting job versus just sort of point A to point B. So that's quite cool.
No Phil.
Wandering
No
there.
Phil.
Do you know who I am?
No Phil then.
No,
No,
funnily enough, he's left.
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh, shame. I thought you'd have bumped into him. Or bummed into him. I don't know.
I'm too old.
I am not his target demographic.
No, I'm over 15. So yeah, Thursday, at the studio, got the vehicle in, and actually I went shopping.
Oh, in London?
Yeah, the studios for
Bougie.
ITV Studios are right next to Westfield Shopping Centre.
Yeah.
And although it didn't feel right to ask if I could sort of hang around and watch like This Morning being filmed or like broadcast, so I just
You were the cuck on set. Can I watch?
it felt wrong to ask. So yeah, I just fucked off and bought myself a new coat and then went back for the time I was supposed to be there. Vehicle out again, and then vehicle back. And Fridays I have off.
Nice.
So childcare commitments, which I'm not sorry about. But yeah, Fridays is like me and little man day.
They say you spend like something like 87% of the time you'll ever spend with your child before the age of 11,
Yeah,
which is terrifying to think.
Yeah.
believe that. The thing is, as they get older, like this isn't going to be about kids, this podcast, not in any which way, I don't think, but quick topic.
Getting
Like,
the word nonce.
I just want to spend as much time while he's young. Like,
Yeah.
he's under 2, so
I say he's not an asshole.
yeah, he hasn't got an opinion yet, although he probably has, just can't tell me.
I just can't,
Yeah,
can't
so you can't
vocalise it.
verbalise that shit.
Your hair is shit, Dad.
Yeah, you look like a dickhead.
Blah, 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 blah. You're so cute.
Ah, I love you too. Yeah, I just want to spend as much time as I can. And, it's like a work-life balance juggle, isn't it, as everybody's got. So.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So that's my week. It's been all right. It's pretty average, some long days.
Just keeping the fucking wheels turning, man.
Keeping the wheels
Yeah.
turning,
That's the main thing.
keeping the bills paid, keeping everybody happy.
Keeping the man
the
from
miles
your
on.
door.
That's it.
That's the main thing.
All you can do, really, isn't it?
What about you, Marlon?
Reg, ring the fucking bell.
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell.
What? Why am I ringing the bell? We've not have a new sponsor alert.
No. New Ingenium problem. New Ingenium problem.
I don't care. Sold mine. Who gives a fuck? Go on, then. What's it? Is it the 2-litre diesel?
Any of them.
Any?
The 9-speed boxes have started shitting themselves.
Oh, dear.
Oh, your face.
Oh no! I will say, as a little aside, in the time that I did have mine, I would swap from mine to my old man's every now and again, and there was a definite difference in the tightness of the gearbox. So that was the only thing I noticed. But what are they just going?
Gun bang.
Just big
Yeah,
bang
so there's a like a wiring pack inside of it.
inside.
Of course, yeah.
Inside
in
the
the
place.
oil.
Is this the mechatronic sleeve, Marlon?
Yeah, that's the one.
I know all about the mechatronic sleeve.
That started to break down, and then the main pump teeth have started to shear off.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
That sounds quite detrimental.
Yeah, it's a really cheap rebuild as well.
ZF strike again.
I thought ZFs were going to be like half decent.
They are.
There are no
Just not
good
this one.
automatic boxes, as far as I'm concerned.
Because you're a farmer. Like,
Cunt.
ZF build fantastic boxes most of the time. Sometimes you get shit like this, and it just slips in there, and by the time they've realised, it's too fucking late.
So what actually happens then?
It's made out of shit.
Okay, cool.
The teeth shear themselves off, and then you got no pressure,
Fabulous.
and then it doesn't move.
Sounds great.
Or
I'll
you only
two.
have reverse.
Okay, cool. You just go everywhere backwards.
Everywhere backwards, you're absolutely fine. There is no forward.
You've been doing everything backwards for years, mate. It ain't gonna make no difference to you, you cunt.
It would be fine, but half the reverse cameras don't work.
Will you two stop flirting, please?
What else have I done? Yeah, please don't buy a Land Rover. They're all terrible. Where's my notes?
You will never stop me.
Right. Thanks, Neil. Now, a co-worker of mine, I don't want to mention any names, corned beef, tried to take a bottom arm bolt out of something. Ingenium, again. Alloy hub, steel bolt.
Oh.
And the steel bolt was so soft. He hit it once. It bent. There's probably an inch and a bit sticking out of the back. It bent. So then it really had to come out.
Oh, no. Yeah,
Yeah, I spent 4 hours drilling that cunt out. I had to drill a bolt out.
You remember the old days when you like had like a bolt like that and you used to just leather it, absolutely leather it with like a lump hammer.
Yeah.
And it was like, I am still bolt.
Mondeo bottom arm bolts, right?
Yeah.
If they didn't come out, you get the fucking oxy out.
Really?
But because all the new stuff's got alley hubs, you can't get the oxy out on that.
You could be there with your, I'll just pull out the old serrated knife on me Leatherman and just sort of cut through it.
I was, I want to say I was surprised, but I'm really not at this point. Everyone is making stuff out of shit. So I'm going to go and work down Tesco's.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You put your application in, you give me a .com driver.
.com driver, mate.
Yeah, just delivering
7-8 drops a day. I mean, the money's shit, but there's no stress. Oh no, the milk fell over.
Refund.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Any substitutes? Yeah, probably. Not my concern.
No, I just get the paper.
I'm just the
This
man.
is your stuff.
I just do delivery.
Delivery. And then Chief
Steady.
broke the Passat.
Oh dear.
Well, okay, she didn't break it. It just broke. What happens on that era of Passat, which is a B6, the electronic handbrake module, which is on the back of the caliper, splits, lets water in, and then the gear rusts away to nothing. So we ended up with the handbrake stuck on in the middle of buttfuck nowhere.
How'd you get it off? Don't tell me you just drove the cunt on.
No, because there was no pad left either.
Oh.
If you unbolt the motor and then wind it back a little bit, you're all right. It just hadn't got a handbrake anymore.
I did wonder why the handbrake lights was flashing when we got in the car.
I done a delete.
Just goodbye handbrake.
Goodbye handbrake for the minute. I have got a new caliper.
Goodbye
I just
handbrake. It's
haven't
been
got-
nice. Hope you find your paradise.
I just fucking hate cars this week. Everything's gone fucking wrong. I fucking had enough. Reg, how's your week been?
Oh, well, I've not been bad actually. Obviously, well,
That's not what he said earlier.
well, no,
That's definitely not what he said earlier.
The day's been rough, but the week's been good. I've much like the Labour government, I was involved in one war against the pheasants, and I'm like, do you know what? The pheasant war's sort of come to a bit of a lull now. Obviously, being out of season, and I've decided to start another war on another front against the rats. Now, the rats have caused me a bit of a problem.
They come over from China.
They've come over from a neighbouring farm.
I'm gonna build a wall. Mexico's gonna pay.
The rats are coming over. They're murderers. They're
taking our
rapists.
jobs.
Coming over here. I know.
They're calling our children nice names.
I've taken up war against the rats. Every farmer will know. Any farmer, anyone who's works in the commercial industry knows rats are an issue. They're not so much an issue in houses nowadays because they're just better built. But I've had a bit of a rat problem on the farm for quite a while. I say a bit of a every farm's got a rat problem.
Yeah, well,
you have a rat man in or whatever. I used to have a rat guy. He went out to Thailand to fuck kids, so he's gone, and so he sort of left it in my hands.
It's quite a career change.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah, it's well, I don't know whether it was to.
I get it.
I don't know whether it's fuck kids or lady boys, but regardless, he's doing some weird shit, and I don't ask too many questions. Shout out, miss you. Anyway,
Big up.
so yeah, I've declared war on the rats, and again, as any farmer will know, I'm getting to
Did you try a treaty first?
Well, my treaty was much like what the Russians did in Afghanistan. I poisoned them.
Subtle.
I poisoned the water hole. And yeah, they didn't.
Somebody's
poisoned the water hole.
There's a snake in my boat.
I was so I tried. Well, I didn't even. There's no reasoning with a rat, is there? You know. So it was.
Have you tried?
What? No.
How do you know?
What? I don't know.
Sit him down.
Problem is,
Glass of
they're,
wine.
He come to the
Me.
they're fucking clever, aren't they?
Well, they are.
Rats, like, they're really intelligent.
They are actually really intelligent. Anyone says that they aren't is wrong. And so I'm getting to the back of my straw shed, and of course, every farmer knows they get into the straw stack. I'm getting to the back of it, and obviously, I'm like, you know, it's like Nam.
Really?
I'm burning down the jungle, and they have nowhere to hide. So they've been getting into some really weird places recently.
Like your ass.
So I'm burning down the jungle, taking away the straw, and I'm taking away, you know, that's my home. I've taken away their cover, and they've got to be out in the open now. Crowds in the open.
Poor rats feel like they're in Israel or something.
Oh, me Israelites. Yeah, so
Do they live in the straw?
they sort of get in between the straw bales, and that's what they make. You can tell, trust me, you can tell a rat. And then you can see the you can see the grease lines and the runs. Once you got an eye for it, I'm pretty good. You know, I know a rat inside and out now. I know how they think.
When you say inside and out, let's just cast our mind back a couple of weeks to the Discord.
Oh, fuck.
Do you mean really inside and out?
No. I've seen him inside out when I hit him with a shotgun.
That's one of the worst fucking videos I've ever seen.
Yeah, we better not discuss that too much. Probably illegal. Anyway,
Back to the farm.
yeah. So they've been getting into some really weird places. They've been burrowing into like our deep litter. When I'm got the JCB on, I'm mucking out a shed. There'll be like a whole load to come out, and I'm like, can't get the rifle out fast enough. What about the women and children? You just give them a little bit less lead. So anyway, it's come to this point where they're really popping out of weird places, and I've left me bucket on just somewhere on the farm, my JCB bucket, and I needed to use it, and it hadn't moved it for about 3 or 4 days. I lift it up, and a fucking rat runs out. And I'm like, you son of a bitch. And with that, I lift the bucket up, and I'm ready to go kill this fucking thing with a spade or whatever I've got to hand. And with that, fucking hell, it was like I'd called in air support. A buzzard swoops down out of nowhere.
No fucking way.
And he plucked the cunt off the floor and just took off with it. And
you are employed.
And this rat is just like there, like you can see his little legs like dangling down while this buzzard just got him by he'd obviously been waiting for me he knew where he was, and he was just waiting for me to do something to disturb him. Anyway, and the buzzard just took off with the fucking thing. I couldn't believe it. But you know, I hark back to the Call of Duty days. I want to let no one take my kill, so I shot the buzzard. I'm joking. I am joking.
You're not having this. This is my kill. My kill.
I turned one target into 2. I'm joking.
Can you have a fleet of buzzards?
I did not shoot the buzzard. I'm trying that clear. I did not shoot the buzzard.
Did you employ him?
Yeah.
He missed.
I said, you want a job, boy?
Honestly, 40 grand a year, you can come and get it. I'll just come down.
You can come and be the rat killer. But yeah, it's been wild. It's full out rat war at the moment. There's no quarter for these rats. There's no safe space. There is no DMZ or a fucking humanitarian aid station. There it is just, and the one thing I've learned is that the Geneva Conventions don't apply to civilians. So,
the UN is not coming to help you.
Geneva suggestions. It's been wild. It's been a wild week of just flat out rat slaughter.
So have you actually killed any?
Yeah, man, I've killed loads. I killed one with a spade.
He got a big headache.
I was digging out, like picking out the sides of a shed as I finished mucking it out. One, I disturbed one. He ran out, and with that, I just, like cartoon clung, lifted it up, and he was like,
oh dear.
Yeah.
The rat has
Get a
left
wildy
the-
coyote.
Yeah, it's been
Roadrunner.
Oh God, it's been like the Gaza of rat land. Come all. This is an aid station. Joking.
Just leave out some snacks on the side.
Yeah, just like loads of little like children's toys. Come on, it's safe space. Anyway, yeah.
Mine.
that's been that, and it's been pretty good up till now. You're just full on just rat genocide, and then.
Well, that took a turn.
Oh god, I hate them. Anyway, and yeah, it was all going well. We're having a grand old day today, weren't we? Everything was running lovely, and I'm just going past Audi, and I'm just driving down with Mr. Automover Sam here down to his hotel. I'm going to pick him up and take him back, and I was like, Dad, ringing, and I'm like, oh, look at the time. It's time to check round the cattle, and Dad's checking round. I'm like, this cannot be a good thing. A little
Turn your phone off.
A little nugget of information, anyone. You know, there's two rules in life, isn't there, really? Don't work with livestock and don't work with family. And I just seem to have flagrantly disregarded both of those rules. Where were you? In Shepton. Why? I have to get you come back to the farm, young'un. I was like, okay. I get there, and what I can only assume is just absolute chaos. I was like, I opened the door, I was like, cool. Didn't realise we had a lake. That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, the cows are just beating all the water fittings off. I had like 70 cattle out running around the shed. They were all graded. They were all in their grade. They were all graded out to their sizes, their breeds. Some of them had been dehorned, some of them hadn't. And they were like, best laid plans of rats and men, old boy. We're gonna fuck that up. And yeah, so that was fun. I wasn't best pleased. And then he was like, oh, you couldn't go over the other farm, just make sure everything's all right, could you? And I was like, by the time I've driven over there and like checked everything's all right, I may as well just check them and feed them. And he was like, yeah, you're getting the hang of things now. Anyway, see you later. I was like,
It's almost like you've walked straight into
I
the
know.
trap.
I was just like, no, why don't you go over there and ring me if there's a problem? There won't be a problem. Got over there. I was like, motherfucker, there is no problem, son. I'm here doing the day. Anyway, so that was it. Yeah, that was my week. Just,
When you rang me, I was like, shit. The thing is,
I'm not even going to ask.
I've known you long enough to know. I know exactly what the problem is. The cows have got out and beaten the water fittings out.
Yeah, they've got out of their pen, smashed all the hurdles to pieces. They've smashed off all the water fittings. There's been hundreds of litres of water just pouring into the shed. So I'm looking
What
up.
a mess.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my jet ski out tomorrow. And
I knew it was serious when you got out of your car and just handed me some keys. Like I didn't even know what fucking keys were. They're like the square ones for the door. Just Marlon's gonna get you. Just fucking let yourself in and get a bit. I need to go. I'm like, okay. It's all right.
That is my life.
Don't cry. It's okay.
When he rang, why didn't I just say, where are you? Just be like,
Spain.
the moon. Like, I don't know. Like, just anywhere. Anywhere but home. Yeah. And
I'm actually on the old Algarve at the minute.
I'm on the Costa del Crime, son. Yeah. So that's been, just never ends. It just never ends. It's like, I was like, oh, awesome. Got all day. I was saying earlier, on it.
Yeah.
I got all day.
Yeah, we could do whatever we
I
want.
got all damn day.
No rush to do anything.
No, but yeah, somehow I still get me planning shit on. So there we are, but we're here and I got a pint in my hand, so all is well once again in the life of Reg. But yeah, livestock, don't do it to yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that was it. So, Sam.
Hello.
Talk to me. AUTOMOVER. How'd you get into it, man?
How did I get into moving cars?
Yeah. It sounds like a bit of a niche thing. That's it doesn't sound like something, a career or an industry that people would just sort of fall into.
Yeah, man, I certainly didn't plan on moving cars for other people when, you know when you're younger and at school and you go to the career planners, you're like, I want to be an astronaut. And like, I want to move cars for people.
It's not a well advertised career, is it?
No, it's like a scene from League of Gentlemen. What do you want to do, Mickey Love? Fireman.
I want to lick windows. No, that was just unattainable for me, so I had to settle with moving cars. A few years ago, I had a proper job. It paid very well, and I subsequently left that job. I used to do IT sales, did that for about 7 or 8 years.
What were you selling?
Like IT infrastructure, like computers, servers, firewalls, like geeky stuff. Actually really enjoyed it. My last job, I worked for Vodafone, like big, like corporate role, big clients. Like I looked after probably 7 or 8 customers, like the typical sort of semi-serious sales job. And it was decent. Like I was on a really good salary. I got a really good bonus. Some months, like my tax bill on my payslip was more than some of my mates were earning. It was a good place. And then the part of the business that I worked at got sold off to IBM. and a few people, including me and my boss, we all got made redundant because there was overlap in what our team were doing, and merging with IBM, there was other people in IBM
Yeah, they
doing the
already
same
had
job.
a team of people there doing
So
your
they
job.
had to like cull a few people. Sadly, I was one of those. Got a fair payout and thought, essentially, the lead up to me going self-employed led from me buying a car. So when I first started at Vodafone, I'd worked really hard like the year before. I'd put a budget aside to buy myself a toy, something fast or like semi-sporty. And a mate of mine who is still running now, shout out to Alex at Small Cars Direct down in the New Forest. He helped me buy a car through the motor trade. So we bought it at auction, and I must have saved $3.5-4 grand on the retail price. So he did me a massive turn. I got the car. It did need a little bit spending on it to get it up together, but I was still quids in. I was still like $3 grand under where it should have been. And the premise of that buying cycle just stuck with me. I was like, why wouldn't everybody buy their car this way? Like, I've got such a good deal here. So I bought that about 18 months prior to leaving Vodafone, and that idea sort of stuck in my head of maybe there's a business here. When Vodafone happened and like we were all facing redundancy, I thought, fuck it. If I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. And the worst case scenario is I give it 6 to 12 months. If the business doesn't work out, I can just go back to the industry that I've just left. There's a little bit of a gap. I can explain that legitimately, go back into work, get a good job, crack on.
Can I just interject a minute? What was the car you bought?
Bought an M5, 2005 V10. I've still got it, although it's been off the road probably 2.5-3 years.
They got the SMG in it?
Yes, which I would fight is not as bad as people make out.
Is that,
I mean,
what's SMG? Semi-automatic?
Sequential manual gearbox. So essentially, the clutch is automated. So
Oh,
instead
right.
of you pushing the clutch pedal down, a computer does that for you. And that's a terrible point, by the way. Marlon is pouring the shit.
It's not actually
that's
his.
because it's warm.
Would you like me to buy it? Would you like me to pour it for you? Okay. I'm just going to let you crack on. So essentially, once you learn how to drive that car and you get used to how it behaves, I don't think it's that bad.
No, it's not the characteristics of it. It's the reliability to a certain extent, pump issues, leaks.
Yeah, man. But like, look at Land Rovers,
Yeah,
right?
it's the same as everything else.
Like, shit has problems. Like, cars have problems.
Yeah.
Cars have, like, you know,
Yeah, there's a
common problems.
There's a difference between something that's bad and something that's unreliable. As long as if it's got inherent problems, as long as when it does work, it's fucking good at what it does. You know, it's whether it's down to the driver and the owner as to whether they can put up with that shit.
So I genuinely believe BMW were doing the best that they could at the time. And
Yeah, this is 20 years ago.
yeah, totally. So
When they made things properly.
big time, like V10 saloon cars.
Oh,
Chris Spry, you bastard, is potentially buying an estate version.
They're so rare.
that's cool
They are
as
very rare.
fuck.
Anyway, I hope he doesn't buy it and somehow the world turns and I buy it. But that's definitely not going to happen. So, Chris Spry, I secretly hate you, but also I'd really love to see that at some stage. So I bought the car. Where were we in terms of story? How good I get into delivery cars? So I bought this car. I'd saved a load of money. That idea stuck in my head. Left Vodafone. Gave the business a shot. And actually, it was doing okay. It wasn't doing brilliantly, but it was enough to give me some hope that actually that business had legs. And the hardest thing for me was actually getting the word out of how it worked, explaining to people, fucking hell, I explained so many times to people, look, here's the crack. You're saving thousands of pounds on the retail price of this car, but we're doing it this way, so there's a chance that you might need to put a couple of tyres on it or give it a service or whatever. But ultimately, your quid's in. So I bought my car this way. I think I paid 13k for it. My budget was 15. At the time, its retail was 16.5, 17 grand. I spent £1,000 on it getting it up together. So I was in it for 14 grand.
Yeah.
I couldn't have bought that car any other way. I didn't have the money for it. So the premise of the business was let's say you've got a $5,000 budget for a new car or new car to you.
Yeah.
You want a Passat estate and you want an automatic with, you told me this earlier. I'm going to try really hard to remember.
I want less than 50,000.
Here we go.
I want a DSG box. Other than that,
Barely, not red.
yeah, and it's got to be an estate, not red.
Not red. So if those are your parameters, this business idea that I had was I'll go and do the legwork. I'll find that car for you. And I will try as hard as I can to find that car in the motor trade in some respect, either from another dealer or from auction. However I can present this cost saving to you, I'll do that. So I went off, I registered with umpteen auction houses. I tried my best to liaise with as many motor traders across the UK as I could, build up a little network of contacts. So I could go and say to them, look, I'm looking for this car for Marlon. He wants XYZ. It must be auto. It must be under 50,000 miles. Here's the budget. And 9 times out of 10, I could deliver that car to you, like quite literally deliver it to you as part of the service for less than the retail price of that car. So I would charge you a fee. Let's say your budget was 5K. We could buy that car for, say, 3.5. I'd charge you, let's say, 400 or 500 quid all in for sourcing it from Newcastle and bringing it down to you. You're in it for 4. The retail price is maybe 5.5, 6. You've saved potentially 1,500 quid.
And you've got a very happy customer.
This is it. Now, it might need some brake pads. It might need a couple of tyres. It might need a service.
It needs a caliper, actually, at the minute.
So I hear. But ultimately, if you're prepared to, like, accept those terms, this could be a really good way of buying a car for you. And it wasn't for everybody, but the people that got it really got it.
Yeah.
And I've still got customers now that come back to me and say, hey, do you still have these avenues of buying cars? Can you help me do this? The delivery side fell into that naturally. And in terms of, I didn't want you to leave your house. I wanted to provide a service.
Providing a complete package.
Exactly.
Tell me what you want. I will deliver it to your door.
Yeah, we'll literally bring it to your door. Obviously, we charge for that, but ultimately, the point of the company was to take all the stress away of people finding cars. And actually, we had a lot of female customers that, like, not trying to play into stereotypes, but
they don't know.
Yeah, like they felt like they go to a dealership and they just got mugged off.
Yeah.
They just got, played for a fool, maybe bought into a vehicle that was overpriced or any of the typical scenarios you can think of. So we had a lot of female customers where actually I'm like, look, this probably isn't the best car for you. Have you thought of this? Like, if you want a little run around, instead of, something French that might break, have you thought about a Polo? A bit more reliable.
Yeah.
Any scenario you think of, like, that was where I was trying to, like, actually just be a bit valuable to people. And it was nice because I was impartial. I didn't care what car you bought. It wasn't my car. It's not like I had 6 cars in stock thinking, I must sell these. So it was nice to be able to be super impartial to people and say, this is probably the best option for you for XYZ reasons. So the delivery side followed on from that. And then COVID hit, which was lovely. And it just shat all over all plans, and everybody was in the same boat, including me, not knowing what was going on, not knowing whether we should carry on the business. A lot of my customers would have maybe 5 to 10 people sort of on the bubble at any one time, where we were looking for cars and trying to find what they wanted. And everyone was in the same boat. They just didn't know what to do. So they just paused and just froze on,
whatever they purchased they were looking at.
Yeah. And not really knowing what everybody was doing. So in that time, I fell on the only avenue that I had to actually generate income because everybody's got bills to pay. I had a trailer at the time. It wasn't the best, but it did the job for most things that we needed to find. And through the contacts that I'd made in the motor trade, a lot of car dealers were selling loads and loads and loads of cars online. Nobody could go anywhere. So the car dealer couldn't leave their premises to deliver the car because you weren't allowed to go out. The person buying the car, they couldn't leave the house because they weren't allowed to go out. So there was this gap where
The AUTOMOVER. And honestly, that's where it started. And I ended up doing so many deliveries, like vehicle deliveries up and down the country, that
it ended up just being its own business.
I was going to say, you had the infrastructure there already to do it. So you
Yeah,
just
man.
All the contacts were already there.
cut the procurement out and just went for literally the bit in the middle.
Yeah, and a hand on heart, this is where I come back earlier. I was saying, just do a good fucking job and just do what you say you're going to do. That ethos has genuinely built a business for me where people have come back to me, they've recommended me to other people, especially the motor trade. It's a very small place and lots of people talk to one another and say, look, I'm really struggling, like this guy's let me down. Do you know anybody that could do this for me? Do you know anybody that could deliver this here? I need it done this day. And because I've like done what I said I'm going to do, my name's got out there and I haven't, apart from, you know, tens of thousands of pounds on the podcast, I haven't spent anything on marketing. Because I've just grown organically. And
That must be a good feeling.
it's a really lovely thing to say. It's genuinely not trying to come across sort of in any big-headed way at all, but
You do what you say you're going to
all
do.
I've done is
and-
what I said I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And so far, that's paid the bills. And I just keep doing what I say I'm going to do. And so far, that's worked. And here we are, drinking beer on a podcast that I'm like tens of thousands of pounds deep in. Only joking. It's only £9,000.
He's paid for your new Defender wrench.
The thing is, with stuff like that, you were saying, like, good people recommend good people to good people.
Well, the thing, like I mentioned ITV earlier, like, how's your week been? That's only come around because the stuff we did for Ant and Dec, moving their van around, like, I've been up and down the country. I've been in Hull for 8 a.m. and it's had to be there. So I've done what I've said I'm going to do. I'm like, I'll get it there for 8 o'clock.
No problem.
That's fine. I'll work it out. Like, it's my problem to deal with.
Yeah.
The answer is just yes. Like, all you need to know is that that vehicle will be there at the time you need it to be there. And what I didn't know was that the team behind Ant and Dec production talked to other teams in ITV, and
I've got this guy.
this week, the vehicle we've been moving is for like This Morning and Loose Women. And I'm super buzzing to be excited, like involved in that
Yeah.
in some really small way. And I'll show you some pictures later of like inside like the This Morning studio. Like, I feel like a kid in a sweet shop because
It's
you
something
see it on
never
telly.
thought.
Yeah, you see it on telly. Like,
You're behind the curtain.
oh my
literally.
God, I'm driving into the studio. Like, it's mental. But it's cool. Like, it's good to be involved in these things. And I'm excited about it. But it wouldn't have come unless, you know, this sort of follow-on of, you know,
If
series
you
of
hadn't
events.
have been reliable,
That's it. Simple, reliable, professional.
See,
Hit me up.
live tracking.
Live tracking, people. Live tracking.
so you must have moved some stuff, like, in the years you've been doing this. I bet you've moved some real weird stuff, some proper expensive stuff. You showed me some of the stuff you've moved around.
Absolute shit boxes as
I
well.
want to know a few of these things.
All right, hit me
First of all, I want to know, what was your favourite thing that you've moved? Say favourite just to be like, oh, what the fuck? Like, that's unreal. If someone asks you, like, coolest thing you've moved?
So favourite / coolest is genuinely quite a hard question to answer because without sounding boring about it, I don't really give a fuck what's on the trailer. Like, so long as there's a car on the trailer and it's paying its wage,
Yes.
that's my perception about what I'm moving. Now, it is cool. Like, we've moved some Ferraris and like nice Porsches and like some real special stuff. It is nice to do that. It is nice to be involved, and it's nice to take photos and put it on Instagram and show that we can take care of those types of cars.
Yeah.
So people with those cars are, you know, they look at it and think, actually, this guy probably does have a clue. And like, we take care about loading low stuff, and through trial and error, like, I've learned how to load things on my trailer without damaging it. And, you know, people might think, how are you going to do on there? And like, how are you? Bit dubious here, but ultimately,
We get a run up usually, love.
yeah, we just go like full send. Yeah, it might hit the end, it might not. Who knows? It's all a mystery.
What kind of trailer have you got?
I've got an Eiffel Williams CT177
Triple
It's
axle, double axle.
twin axle, 3.5 ton. I definitely profess it's not the best trailer, but I bought it when I first started out, and actually I know it like the back of my hand. So I know when it's right, I know when it's wrong. It can take almost anything. I've been stuck on Audi R8s. They won't go on it.
Or too wide, too low.
Yeah, so too wide. With
Very ugly as well.
with mid-engine stuff, you've got to... I don't care who professes that a car is a 50-50 weight balance. When it comes to towing, that's utter bollocks. Because wherever the engine is where the most weight of the car is.
Of course. Yeah.
And you need that as near to your tow car as possible. So R8 mid-engine, I know it's mid-engine, it's at the back.
Yeah.
It's behind the seats. So let's just like agree
It's in the rear of the vehicle.
it's in the rear of the vehicle. So you have to reverse that car on. Otherwise, you've got all the weight.
Yeah, lifting your back wheels up.
Have
on
you
a
ever
car.
seen
Everyone's seen that demonstration.
with a little model, little
Yeah,
Mustang
on
model?
the, on the
On the-
treadmill?
yes.
Yeah, it's so interesting actually. I learned a lot. Yeah.
So that is reality. And I promise you, an inch, your partners might tell you this and you might not believe it, but an inch makes a very big difference. And it honestly does. Like some of the heavy stuff that you move, like campers or Land Rovers, discos are really heavy.
They are,
Disco
yeah.
3 and 4s. 5s are okay because they're aluminium, but 3 and 4s are heavy cars. And an inch on the trailer makes the world of difference when you're towing. So
That's what she said.
it is.
Sorry.
Mine's just gone off a like completely different tangent. So coming back to like favourite cars and stuff, there is an element of like, it doesn't really matter what we're towing.
It's all getting treated the same.
It's all getting treated the same. And that's really important. Like shitbox Fiestas that are 500 quid, they get the same treatment as Ferraris that
This
are
is what I
500k.
preach. This is what I preach.
And they genuinely do. And yes, it's nice. Like I'll definitely admit that it's nice to see Ferraris on the trailer. It's nice to tow them around. It's nice to deliver those and do that well. But ultimately, all four wheels get strapped down on every car. Like they all get put in the right place. They all get balanced. So interesting stuff we've towed. Milk float.
What?
Yep.
What? One of those electric ones?
Yes, but without the batteries because with batteries they're too heavy.
What?
Yeah. The
Aren't they-
older milk
Yeah,
floats
aren't they
are...
fucking lead acid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're heavy boys.
Yeah.
So milk float with no power, winched on, winched off. That was used for.
Dogging.
It wasn't dogging. It was close.
What?
No, it wasn't close. It was used
Food
for.
truck.
It was used for a set for Sky. So they set up this scene outside Westfield Shopping Centre in London to promote The Walking Dead. So weird job. We delivered it on a Saturday or a Sunday night. I can't remember, but it was 11 o'clock at night. It had to be in London, and we couldn't do it earlier because of rules and regs around the shopping centre and people coming in and out.
They've already got a license for.
This is it. So it had to be after hours. So we picked the milk float up from Derby, brought it down to London, like late at night, and they literally forklifted the thing on its roof and made like this sort of like zombie crash
That
scene.
little scene.
Yeah, to set up to promote The Walking Dead. And then we went back a few days later, once they'd like done the promotion, picked the thing up again, and they literally forklifted the thing back on its wheels, winched it back on, back to set, or back to sort of the warehouse where it was kept, and that's our part.
And no one watched The
Fucking
Walking
cool.
Dead after season 4 anyway, so it's a waste of fucking
and it
time.
just fucking plummeted on his face. 7 days. Money well spent. Nice one, Sky.
Please watch our show. We've got a milk float. We're going to do a thing as no one cares since Negan. Fuck off.
Oh, God. I was pleased. They paid my bill, so
Yeah,
happy
that's all.
days.
Yeah, you've done well out of it. That's the main
Yeah.
thing. Me as a watcher of The Walking Dead just felt completely robbed from, after about season 4. But you know, we move on. I don't hold a grudge.
I've never watched the whole thing.
I've been through it before.
I need to try. I do need to try.
No, I give up. There's so many shows that I think, really, do I invest in this? Do I really invest in this? I feel the same with Fallout at the moment. Now, I've watched first season, mind blowing. But the problem is, I know I've got this horrible feeling that the fucking money men will get involved and be like, oh, well, it's done really
You
well.
need to go. Preston Garvey, please go help this settlement.
There's another
Fuck
settlement.
off,
Yeah,
cunt.
I think the money men will get involved. They'll wind the budget back because they know they've already got a fantastic following from the first
the money
season.
men, not the minute men.
Yeah.
I was the same with Game of Thrones. I did season 1. Me and the missus did season 1. Just couldn't get into it. Like,
We tried a few times and we managed it in the end. Watched it all the way through to season 8. Season 8 was a total letdown, but it wasn't as much of a letdown as The Walking Dead was. So I'll let that lie as it was.
Sore subject. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on from The Walking Dead.
Some really nice cars.
I'm sorry. You're struggling to bring up anything that doesn't trigger me somehow. I'll find myself to be angry about something. Don't worry.
Do you like cows?
Good thing it wasn't bring a hammer to work day. Put it that way.
I've heard Wygoo's favourite.
They're gone. I don't do them anymore. I'm done with that. It's the Longhorns that are the fucking problem. Skitty little fucking things.
It's not one thing, it's another.
Oh, it is. It's my life. Then that's just how it be.
Constant moaning. It's what I have to put up with.
What a day.
Oh, what a day.
Oh, shut up, Marlon, you fucking asshole.
But at the same hand, you listen to me.
No, it's nothing waiting. No nerves and shit. We chose these careers, mate.
Yeah.
We've only got ourselves
I wish
to blame.
I tried harder in school.
Yeah, I wish I was just driving around the fucking country moving cars around for nice people that are happy to just not go and pick up a car.
Most of them are nice.
Most of them are nice. Oh, go on. You obviously don't do any work for the people that aren't nice, so you can talk about it.
I've had some like not nice customers. So most of my customers are car dealers, and like it doesn't take a genius to work out they're the guys that are buying cars and selling cars more than the rest of us. And we do a lot of like private work for individuals, and that's cool, and we'll always do that. But we've got to pay the bills, right?
Yeah.
So
Bread and butter.
you go with the businesses. I've like no names. I'm not in the game to
No,
name and shame
man, we
people,
don't do
but
that here.
I've seen car dealers that do play to the stereotypes that sadly you do hear about of, the last couple of years, you guys heard of Motorway or Carwell or like these types of places?
yeah.
That shit.
Yeah, so the whole premise is, like, Motorway's a good one. Their USP is you take photos of your car, they'll upload it, they'll send it out to, like, thousands of dealers.
Reverse auction. The dealers bid for your car.
You got it!
No one wanted my Range Rover.
Oh, sore subject. Here we go again. Anyway, moving on. So a lot of my customers buy cars this way, and 9 out of 10 of them are super sound. Like, they're nice guys, they've got a nice business, they prep their cars well, they sell nice cars, they look after people, they're human, they're nice people.
Yeah.
I've worked for people where I'll turn up, and one of the services we offer is an inspection. And we do this a lot for car dealers via Motorway because it's cheaper for them to pay me to go and look at the car, collect it, deliver it to them than it is for them to take their time out of the day. They can crack on with what they need to do, whether it's like hold viewings or like be around or just general business stuff. And that works really well. So we'll turn up, you as a private customer, you're selling your Land Rover, you've put it on Motorway, you've taken all the photos, somehow it's still running.
Glad you got in there.
It hasn't blown up yet. So
It's a bit rusty.
Yeah.
Got a couple of coolant leaks. Supercharger's rattling like a cunt.
Typical, right? So I turn up, and it might be that we know all these things, like prior, and you've said, hey, supercharger's rattling. Hey, it's rusty. And that's okay, because when we turn up, I've got all of this information that my customers sent me. They'll be like, look, Sam, 2 wheels need refurbing. But like, you should expect X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
We're expecting the car to be in this condition. And some of the not nice people that I've done jobs for in the past, we turn up and there's like a little scratch on the bumper or small stuff that
Age-related stuff.
Yeah.
That you would expect as a car that you're buying from a private customer. When you get there, they're not going to disclose every single scratch and stone chip.
you've got it right.
Yeah.
Now there is
I wouldn't. As a seller, as a private seller, if I was selling on eBay, I'll be honest, big stuff that people need to know about.
Age-related marks.
Age-related marks is all-encompassing. And if it's a
Or
20-year-old...
keep spinning it, and every wheel is curbed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now there is a counter argument to this in so much as dealers have and are within their right, I think, and I'll stick up for them in this respect. If you don't tell them the big bits of damage on there, what they're doing is giving you a price based on exactly what you've said.
What you've said.
Yeah.
So if all 4 wheels need to be refurbished, that's hundreds of pounds. Like, they've got to factor that in because the person that buys that car from their forecourt is expecting the wheels to be in good condition,
Yeah.
as we all are. So there's an element of like, you've got to be fair about this, but you've also got to be fair about this. And I've worked for people that will turn up and I'll be super picky because I don't want the blame for any damage of the car going on a trailer. So I'll point out, hey, there's a scratch here, but I'm clever enough to know that it will mop out. Like, I can see that I can run my nail over it and it's really minor.
Yeah.
So, be sensible about it. I don't think you need to negotiate on the price here because 5 minutes with a machine polisher and you're done. And some previous customers have been like, oh, I'm going to need to paint that. And they'll negotiate hundreds and hundreds of pounds off.
it. When it really only needs a quick buff over with a mop.
You got it. And we don't work for those guys anymore. But that's the luxury you have as somebody running a business where you get to pick and choose who you work for, right?
Definitely.
So what's nice now is, over the years, we've whittled those customers down, and for reasons like you can imagine, just don't work for them anymore because I've got other guys that are really nice people that, we do a good job for. They buy nice cars from nice people that are reasonable, and they say, sometimes you do turn up, you're like, I looked at a TTS last week.
Yeah.
On paper, it was a really nice car, really clean. Took it for a test drive, 50 to 60 miles an hour. There was a weird, like, throbbing, humming sound coming from the gearbox.
Oh.
And the guy that was selling it was a young guy. He's like, oh, I've had this in the garage. Like, I've had it looked at, and the guys at the garage, they said it was the tyres. And he explained it to me in a really weird way. He was like, there's an air gap between the tyre and the wheel. And in my head, I'm like, hang on a second, dickhead. Isn't it a gap full of air going to piss air out and therefore, like, let the tyres down? And he's like, oh, no, I mean, like, the sidewall there, the tyres, and it just didn't add up.
Like it's full of shit.
Like it's full of shit. So we fed this back to, like, my customers, the guy that's buying it. The guys that are buying the car, like, look, this doesn't add up.
No.
In my head, I'm like, I'm going to give this guy the benefit of the doubt. So we went on a test drive, went down a dual carriageway. I can hear this noise. I'm like, this road's pretty rough. Let's go somewhere else. Went down another road, like sort of an A road. My job is not to rag this guy's car. Quite conscious of that. But I've got to test some stuff out. So, I'm there, like, I'm in the car.
Got to get it into kick down.
Yeah. I'm like, look, we want to test a few things. We want to test the gearbox works. I'm going to do X, Y, Z. I'm going to do a short pull. I'm going to slow down, and then I'm going to boot it up to 60, and then we'll ease off. This was it. So we went down another road, car's still making this noise. Called the customer. I'm like, this is a weird noise. I've never heard it before. It sounds like a wheel bearing, but it's not a wheel bearing because it's not consistent. It could be tyres. It could not be tyres. That's as far as we go. Like, I'm not a mechanic. I'm
not putting my neck on the line, being like, I'll tell you what, mate. It's a wheel bearing. I've heard it 100 times.
Yeah. But here it is. It's definitely there. And it ended up, like, not collecting the car. The guy didn't buy it, so we drove away. Like, trailer's empty. That's fine. Customer still pays me. That's cool. But that's where, like, the guy selling that car, he fucking knew.
Yeah, of course he did.
He'd have it in the garage a week.
Yeah.
But he didn't say anything. And this is where, like, you've got to be... Most people are sat on the retail side of the equation, right? They're selling you're selling your car to the motor industry, and you think that you deserve this price because you've done X, Y, Z. But if you've had it in the garage a week for a problem that you haven't told him about, shock horror, we're going to come and discover that problem, and you need to expect to either solve the problem
realistic
before you sell
expectations,
it.
yeah.
But sadly, there's been other people where, they haven't done that, and it's been tough. especially for me as an intermediary, because I'm not buying the car.
Like,
I'm just there
I'm just the guy who comes to look at this and take it back to them.
Yeah. I'm just like, look, all I do is say what I see. If the car's got damage, it's got damage. If you've told us about it, that's cool.
Yeah.
If you haven't, shot color.
Has anyone tried to bribe you?
Oh, no, I wish they had. I am open
How mint
to
is the
bribes.
escort? How mint is the escort?
It's probably one of the nicest escorts I've ever seen.
See?
You better fucking hand me some cash now. It is one of the nicest dry stored in the warm escorts I've ever seen in my life.
Exactly.
Roof works nice, paint's nice, doesn't smell of damp. It's lovely.
Beautiful.
I would probably put that on collecting cars.
Yeah, Cars and Classic. It's ready to go.
Some real established, auction where people respect that auction. They know those cars are going to be tip top.
I was thinking
Facebook Market.
Barrett Jackson.
Barrett Jackson,
Yes,
rolling
mate.
over the park.
I'm going to ship that cunt abroad.
No, you're going to move it.
Of
We're
course.
going to sell a car today.
I'll move that for you.
You might have to when somebody buys it.
Well, because it doesn't run.
No, it does run at the minute. At the minute.
Move it to the end of a country lane and set it on fire, will you?
Does it run for loading purposes?
Yes.
Happy days. Well, you, sir, have avoided a non-runner charge.
Actually, the handbrake's stuck on.
We can solve that.
We got a lump hammer in the back of the car. And
Oh, no, I've tried.
We got a 6-ton winch. Don't you worry.
And it's a gravel driveway, so it just slides.
Lad, right on up.
Line on.
So, yes, it's a weird industry to be in. I definitely didn't picture myself like moving cars as a career. But, hey, here we are. You make what?
Yeah, you make of life.
Make what do,
you make of
don't you?
life, Yeah.
So, here we are spending tens of thousands of pounds a month on sponsorship for a
fuck's
podcast.
Right,
Only kidding.
we're on the subject of
70% off. Use code ITDA.
I love this. I love this
Will Austin
dynamic. This
started
is a
that,
good
the
dynamic.
bastard. Fucking Will Austin, you bastard. 70% off?
Oh dear. Right, we're going to cut a short break, but before we do, a massive shout out to KLJ Services. And Sam, you can take the ad read from here if you want.
Okay, let's do it. Do you have a horse box? Do you have a trailer? Do you have any form of agricultural machinery? Well, if you do, let me tell you, KLJ Services is the man to come and look after that shit for you, because as a genuine story, KLJ Services has got me out of the shit so many times. He services my trailer. Bearing in mind, I'm doing, I think this week I've done maybe 3,500 miles.
Jesus Christ.
like the trailer goes through some shit, but Kieran's on hand. Like, I can call him and say, look, this is happening. Can you either advise or can you fit me in to fix it? The man keeps me on the road. And for me, like, my trailer is invaluable. That's what provides my income.
Downtime.
So
Yeah.
I physically cannot afford to be off the road. I've been off the road in the past and it's cost me thousands of pounds. I just cannot do it. So if you have a horse box sat in a field, if you have a trailer that's sat in your garden, do the right thing and get it fucking roadworthy. I don't know if you know, and I only learned this through Kieran. Recently, there's a rule come in where a horse box has got to have tyres that are 5 years or newer.
Really?
Do you know that?
That's a good thing, because there are far too many trailers on the road with like
They're all
fucking
fucked.
perished and cracked tyres. Still got great tread, but they're shagged.
Literally. So I only know this because I've like sat with Kieran while he's been working on my stuff, and like we've been talking, and he's just like told me, like, did you know this? I fucking wouldn't know that, would you?
No, I had no clue.
So it's stuff like that. It's a bit like the Orley Fox of trailer maintenance, right? Kieran at Orley Fox knows all the ins and outs of accounting. Kieran at KLJ Services knows all the ins and outs of trailers. And quite frankly, I couldn't work without him. So I would like to personally thank him. You keep me on the road, mate. If you have a trailer, you just need to get it down to the man. I don't know about you guys, but as I got older, I feel like I just need to outsource tasks that I don't know how to do and
Oh,
just fucking
absolutely.
get it done.
Yeah. I don't have the time.
Let the
Yeah, I
professionals
Don't have the time.
do what
You
they're
know how
good
to
at.
do a task that I don't know how to do. I'm just going to pay you money and get it done right and get it done once.
Yeah. I like to fuck around with pissy shit like drills and washing machines because I'm like, yeah, well, I'll replace it anyway.
I'm a mechanic.
Yeah, but when it comes to like putting down a new floor or getting your trailer service, I'm like, I could really fuck something up here if I'm not careful.
So heartfelt ad read. Kieran is the man. I couldn't be on the road without him. So get your fucking trailer serviced. Give Kieran a call. Follow him on Instagram. Give him a shout.
Link in bio.
Link in bio.
Big
Hit
up
him
the
up.
KLG services. Yeah, check him out on there. Right, we're going to cut to a short break, get a drink of the week, and we'll be back shortly. We love you long time. Bye-bye. And we're back. Marlon, you've gone out and bought us drink of the week this week, which
I didn't specifically go out to buy it. I was buying Budweiser and I saw it.
I was buying drink for myself, and I saw more drink and thought,
It's
I know where we do drinking.
It's kind of like it perked my interest because it's a brew dog.
First you had my curiosity, now you have my attention.
And now they've tried to copy like Miller Lite, that kind of thing in the design of the can.
It's very 50s Americana, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got a BrewDog, and as we always, we're not rating the company. We all know our thoughts on BrewDog. We're not rating the company. We're going to rate the beer. So Marlon, what have you brought us?
I have bought us BrewDog Cold Beer Lager.
I'm intrigued.
Me too.
Sadly, I have high hopes, which I know I think might be dashed, but we'll try it. Without any further ado, read the marketing bullshit, Marlon.
The best beer is a cold beer.
The best beer.
You didn't have this with Biden.
Nancy Pelosi is trying to ban them. She's impeaching on our freedoms.
She's trying to make warm beer.
All that woman drinks is warm beers. Okay.
Made with a combination of pale ale and light Munich malts, you'll be hit with subtle lemon notes on a light cereal malt base. All up, this a highly drinkable beer that tastes clean, crisp, and refreshing. That English is wank.
Right. Well, that's good because they're Scottish. Anyway, let's see what we think then.
Smells off.
No.
Is it? Are you two getting any flavour?
I think that's what they've gone for, isn't it?
What? No flavour?
Yeah.
Just,
Is that what it started with something and then it just immediately went to nothing.
Is it a can of water?
It literally is.
I mean, it's 3.4%. So
Yeah, it's like having sex in a yacht fucking close to water.
or Dubai, right?
Oh, mate. Yeah. Things have not been good over there.
This is a good driving beer.
This is literally a road beer.
Honestly, officer, I'm drinking cold beer.
You try it.
Here's the can.
You try it, sir.
You have a go. Okay, sir, be on your way.
Oh, I had high
There's
hopes.
nothing there.
It's just...
There's a smid. There's no fucking lemon.
There's
Lying cunts.
Yeah, ever so slightly. Just if they hadn't said it, I probably wouldn't have picked up on it.
I think you're just thinking there's lemon.
As a person that spends a lot of time driving, this could work, you know.
I see the logistics.
Professional, reliable, professional.
Not pissed because I'm drinking 3.4% cold beer lager.
Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's bad.
Ain't worth a wank.
Oh, God. I mean, they have done some good stuff. I mean, we don't like the company, but they have made some fantastic beers in the past. This is not one of them. This fucking sucks. This is crap, and it belongs in the bin. And I hate them so much more for this.
Can I go back to my Amstel, please?
You please do, please.
Where's your dogs? They might like this.
This is.
I tell you what, the one thing I will.
I'm trying to drink more to see if there's anything I can pull out.
Like,
of
there's
it.
The one thing that is nice is it's really cold. You've done a really good job at refrigerating it. So
This, you know, when you've done a really hard job and you're really, really thirsty,
Yeah.
and you could just absolutely pound back like a pint of water.
Yeah.
You could just do that with that.
this is more drinkable than a fizzy can
It
of
is
like Coke or Lucozade or any other soft drink, because the fizz isn't too
smells
bad.
Yeah, it's not.
funny.
It feels like, you know, you know who would like this? Your sister. This is a good after marathon beer or mid marathon beer.
This is a marathon beer. This is nothing.
Fuck
I
Lucozade.
wouldn't subject
I am almost insulted.
anyone to
I'm
it.
almost insulted by
Honestly,
how bad this is.
Fuck Lucozade. They don't need that halfway through the marathon. They just need this cold beer.
Why didn't they call it super light bitch ass beer of fucking, I don't know.
Why didn't they just not make it?
Why does this exist?
What's the point?
This is, do you know what the worst part is, Marlon? You didn't even buy this on the business card. You bought it yourself.
I went in there for other things. So I was
I don't
like,
wanna
I didn't want to split it,
split
and it's too much. I
purchase.
just
I
fuck
pity
it.
the fool. Who buys this on the road
This
card?
is crap. This is so bad. This is so. I'm gonna finish it just as a because it's so light that I know it's not gonna even
Have you,
add to my alcohol content.
Have you got a glass handy? Let's see what colour it is.
Yeah.
White.
I bet it's really pale.
Let's just pour it out.
Oh, is it
it's-
that clear? I
It's
can't
like
really see.
Corona.
It's quite golden.
It's got more gold than I thought it was
It is
gonna
quite
be.
golden. It looks like
Yeah, it just looks like
just looks like a shit beer.
just looks like a beer. It's so bad. Oh god, it's
Let's compare it to this Amstel. I'll be
Amstel's-
honest, it's actually quite similar in colour, but
Amstel's definitely more
Full bodied.
full body
Yeah.
golden. That's way more like
yeah, you know when the lemonade runs out, machines in a pub,
yeah.
and you get a pint of lemonade or Coke, and it's just run out of syrup.
Yep.
It looks like the beer equivalent.
It's awful. I'm just so insulted as to how it's not even. I'm not insulted because I've tried. We've had really bad beers on before. Like we're not a fan of sours, so we class them as bad. They're not nice. I don't like them. But there's just nothing to be angry at apart from the fact that there is nothing. I'm angry at the lack of effort and the lack of beer.
I'm
and the
angry
lack
that
of
it's
taste.
in production.
Yeah.
What's the point of it?
This is an affront to God.
And
okay?
it's fucking vegan.
This is a sin. I classify this as a sin. Okay.
This is a good beer for somebody.
This is actually recommended for pregnant women.
Actually says enjoy your long drive on the back.
ideal for transport companies.
Perfect for operating
Happy
heavy
days.
machinery. Please, yeah. Or enjoy with your 2-year-old child on the back.
Ideal replacement for formula milk.
Yeah. It sucks, okay? It sucks.
It's very watery.
I'm not going to give it a 0 because a 0 has to be awful. Like I'm going to drink it. I'm going to finish the can just as to make a point.
Really?
It's
Nobody cares about your point, mate.
But it's having a 1. It's having a 1.
It's not worth a wank. I'm at a 1.
I think this is a good beer for somebody that you don't like. Because
Yeah.
it shows intent that you've purchased a beer in good faith.
Yeah.
But it's a really shit beer.
Yeah, if you're invited round to some sort of do at someone's house and you don't want to be there, bring a 4-pack of this.
Yeah.
As the most passive-aggressive insult to them and their stupid,
Fuck you and your shit
function
event.
that I don't want to be at, but because society demands that I attend these things, I shall. And as protest, I shall bring a 4-pack of cold beer. And if anyone's attending anything that you don't want to be at, please take a picture of you with a 4-pack of this and put it on your Instagram story and tag us, and we'll share it and we'll know what the fuck is going on.
Like
and
and
so will
subscribe, tag and
everyone
share.
else.
It's a 1.
Just
Yeah, so
the best
that's,
part is you could put it on your Instagram story, be like, "Oh, got a housewarming tonight, can't wait." You put it up, tag the dog house. And
Everyone
we're like,
knows.
We'll know.
Everyone
You
fucking
don't want
knows.
to be there.
This is a shit party.
This is fucking wank, and I hate this, and I hate the people that I'm going to see.
That's Brewdog Cold Beer Lager.
Yeah, well, that's that. Oh,
What a
well.
waste of time.
Yeah. Do you know what isn't a waste of time, Marlon? Getting a good builder. So a massive shout out to MJR Construction for sponsoring this episode. Any of you scumbags listening, live in the Somerset or Dorset area, you guys looking for a builder, you're struggling to find someone reliable. Someone's going to turn up. We've been discussing this at length in the first half of the show. Trying to find someone who's actually going to be there and be reliable, and also share in the dream that you're trying to build. If you're trying to do an extension on your house and you spoke to a few builders and they're like, well, that's going to be quite a difficult thing and it's going to incur a lot of cost. You want someone who's just going to be like, yeah, we can do that. That is not a problem. You got it in your head. You got it on paper. You got the architectural plans. Take one look at it and be like, it's doable. Absolutely doable. Get in touch with the sponsor of this episode, MJR Construction. Realistic timeframes, not a problem. It's all in the repertoire of MJR Construction. Doesn't matter whether it's brickwork, blockwork, pointing, extensions, patios, painting, interior and exterior decorating, plumbing, tiling, fencing, decking, roofing, chimney work, but also, and most importantly, Marlon, lime work. Lime, I've done a bit of research into this. I didn't really know much about it until
it's a dying trade.
Until MJR came on the scene and were talking to me about it. It is a dying trade, and if you have a builder and they don't know what they're doing with it when it comes to lime work, or the lime rendering and pointing and repair, they can really make a fucking mess of things, and it can be really difficult to put right. It's easier to get someone in who knows what they're doing to fix it than for somebody who knows what they're doing to come in to fix someone else's fuck up who thought they could have a go at it. Lime work is a specialist trade, and you want to get someone in who knows what they're doing. So if you have anyone who's if you have lime work on your house, lime rendering or pointing, get in touch with the sponsor of this episode, MJR Construction, for all of your needs. Everything from all the way from extensions to full house renovations, all the way down to smaller jobs. You got a little leak you need looking at underneath the sink. You got a couple shelves that need putting up, or you just need part of the kitchen refinishing. Get in touch. MJR Construction, big up them for sponsoring this episode. So yeah, Bosh, link in the bio, link in the episode description. You know the score by now, and if you don't, then you scum. Right. Anyway, why do you sponsor this shit? All of you sponsors.
I'll be honest, I'm starting to ask myself that question.
I've looked behind the curtain and I'm scared.
I'm like 10, 15 grand into this.
By the end of it, it's like, I actually bought Reg this house. I don't know if you guys know.
Technically, I own this bar.
If we look at it in a financial way, I think I own you, Marlon.
Take me home for you.
Guys, we're on a subject of cars and whatnot. I want to talk about it. It's been flogged to death on every YouTube channel. Most podcasts have covered it, but we're going to cover it here in the Doghouse because what we say matters and it changes the world. The Cybertruck.
Ooh,
can we talk about it?
Let's talk about the Cybertruck.
What?
Have you seen? Firstly, the fault that is recent with the Cybertruck.
Which one? Because there's a few that I know about.
The accelerator pedal. And then secondly, have you seen the fix? I'm gonna staple some carpet in place.
Oh, no,
but that's Tesla all over.
What? Staple some carpet? The other one, I've seen a different fix.
Go on.
I've seen that. So for people that
put a bungee cord on.
For people that don't know,
flat out everywhere, like just harnessing Colin McRae in the maximum attack, full pelt all the time.
But for the people that don't know, obviously Tesla made a truck called the Cybertruck. It's not a pretty thing by any stretch of the imagination.
I don't know. I really like the look of it.
It's incredibly unconventional.
It's made out of Chinese shit.
I think what they've done really well is to try and branch out.
Buck the trend.
And yeah, literally buck the trend, because trends have got to start somewhere, right? And car makers particularly, everybody hates it at first, and then suddenly it becomes the thing.
Yeah.
So kudos to the company that does choose to actually break the norm and then say, hey, we're going to do something different and we're going to try something. You know what? If it doesn't work, we'll take that rap, but we're going to try and make it work. So for that aspect, I think kudos.
Yeah.
And
I think Tesla were probably the only ones that could do it. Because of Elon. Go on.
And actually, I reckon you could put this rule across all Teslas, certainly of like the last 5-10 years. Their build quality is terrible. So, good example, like my little brother works for a company in Bournemouth. Last year, he wanted a new car, and Tesla actually gave him, I think it was a Model Y, which is like the small...
Yeah, it's
like the small SUV, right?
Yeah. It
doesn't have the gull wing doors at the back that does all the fancy, like,
It's in between like an S and an X, isn't it?
Yeah. So 5-seater, not 7, but still sort of like
Single motor.
I think you can get single or dual. So they still do a quick one. So we had one for 2 days. Tesla gave him the car, said, look, take it, run with it, charge it, live with it, see how you get on. And once you've got over the acceleration, which is
Mental.
Blistering.
ballistic,
Linear torque curve. But then after about 80, it's like,
well,
not
the new
quick.
ones, the plaids, they're fucking quick.
they are mental quick.
Don't want to plug someone else, but Carwell have got some good videos on YouTube of like, plaid versus XYZ.
Oh, I like Carwell. Yeah.
I like Matt Watson. I think he does a good job.
Yeah. Any British car YouTuber in general is just right up my alley.
Big up YouTube. Like, support the small guy. So,
Yeah, subscribe to Matt Armstrong. He's really struggling at the moment for subscribers.
but like Tesla's got a really good party trick. Straight line, off the line, fast as fuck.
Yeah.
That's the crack. But as soon as you start whittle it down into a day-to-day car, actually they're really poor. The build quality's not great.
The interior is the most bland and boring thing known to man.
I get simplicity, and actually there's a time and a place for like a simplistic dash, and you know, you could argue that actually that's quite futuristic or the way that it's going, but oh my
Usability.
God, bring back buttons.
I have a whole rant on this.
Go. Hit me.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Marlon's, he's doing the 1,000-yard stare.
Open
like,
the fucking can.
Buttons break.
Yeah, but you can replace buttons. You can buy more buttons off eBay.
Like, SVRs, for instance. The fucking full-fat Range Rovers, SVRs, they have steering wheel controls.
Yeah.
Like most Rangers. They always fucking break.
Yeah.
Use a touchscreen.
No, it's not intuitive.
I don't want to change the buttons because this is like
I don't
a
want to
really,
change your
really-
touchscreen.
It's a really, really
It's like
expensive
thousands
car
of pounds.
that I have to take the airbag out of.
This is for you.
That's just on the steering wheel, though.
You're
Yeah, but I don't care about anyone else.
Yeah, because you're seeing this through the lens of a mechanic. You're not seeing it through the lens of a daily user.
Don't buy one.
I'm not being a cunt. Don't take this the wrong way.
Let me put it to you like this.
Have you lived with a car with a touchscreen where the touchscreen controls a lot of the car's functions?
No, because I am
It
a
fucking
poor
sucks.
man.
It fucking sucks.
All right.
Stay a poor man.
Let-
I'm a poor man. It's not my car, Marlon. Well, it wasn't. It's gone now. RIP.
Let's run an experiment. Let's install an iPad in your Passat that controls the heaters, the radio, fucking everything,
Mate.
and let's see how that goes.
It sucks.
Yeah, but it's too much to retrofit.
The thing
it.
is,
it's
like,
a lot of work.
don't-
Just keep me.
I don't want to get on a
Dials.
massive high horse here, but we're penalised for using our phones, which, to be fair, I do agree is a bad thing. But try and find a heated seat control on a touchscreen while you're doing 80.
It's so.
Well, you should be doing 80.
It's all right while you're doing 70.
It's so.
It's backwards.
It's so distracting. They are so distracting.
Yeah, I do get that.
You know, muscle
But
memory
it's-
will tell you where the buttons are, where the knobs
It's
are.
from working on it.
Do you
I
know
get-
where the
I
heated
get that
controls are
from-
on your Passat?
Yeah.
Yeah, there.
If I need
Obviously.
to, if I
and you
needed
twist them to make it warm, and you twist it to make it cold.
if I needed to change the air direction, whether I want it coming from the vents or down, from the windscreen vent down to down to your feet or down to onto you, you had to go into the touchscreen on that Defender and change it. When I'm on the fly,
Okay.
And-
That is ball bag.
awful. I mean, to be fair, the Defender, I will jump to its defense. Haha, pun. I will defend it in one point, in that there wasn't huge amounts that was on there. Obviously, all your audio, your multimedia, your infotainment is all on that screen. They did minimalize what was on there outside of that. So realistically, the only thing that you ever needed on the fly was the heater controls, i.e. the direction of the air. Everything else was actually a button. That was the only thing that pissed me off. But that's the low end of the spectrum.
Yeah, right.
Some of them are fucking obscene. Some of them have everything on the
They
on the
got
touch
a
screen.
32-inch on the dash. Like.
Literally, the Tesla, everything's on everything is on that fucking iPad.
On the topic of Range Rovers, I don't know on offhand like what year it started coming in, but the facelift full fat started.
Yeah, 405. I know what you're going to say.
It started. They digitalized the climate control, didn't they?
Yeah.
So you've got like two touchscreen. You've got the infotainment one,
And then
which
you've got
doesn't have,
your little
Yeah.
one
and
down
then
a
this
bit
other one.
lower.
Down it.
Yeah.
Why did you fuck with that?
I know. I mean,
Well, when it goes wrong, you have to buy 2 modules then, and not just one.
Brilliant.
Yeah, well, I think they dialed it back
Like
when they come
double
to
fucks.
Double bubble, wasn't
I
it?
think when they come to the Defender,
Fuck me
they
once,
knew their
and then
fucking market.
fuck me again.
They knew their market because they put the heater, they put the actual heater controls and the heat. Quite clever. It seemed stupid when I first got it, and then I understood it. There were 2 dials, and the dials not only controlled the heated seats, they not only controlled the fan speed and the temperature.
Didn't you like
and it
push
all- and
push
it-
once or
yeah,
push twice
and
for like heat
well,
or
no,
cool?
just like once you touch it, push it in once and you do your heated seat.
Yeah.
Push it back out. If you
And
didn't,
push 3 times,
No, if
flash
you-
the interior light twice, that's dogging.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying
Send
to
the fucking smoke
explain it.
signal.
So you could,
If you tap it 4 times, it automatically calls the AA.
turn it from general. You turn the heating up, press it and turn it. You get your heated seat. There's a button right next to it. Touch that and turn it. Fan speed. Touch the other button that's above it. That'll do your terrain response.
I'm already fucking bored. Like,
Oh, no,
not to take the piss, but
I
like-
get what you're saying, but as soon as you're used to it, it's fine because it's all intuitive. It's just four buttons that do everything, which was really handy. Well, 2 buttons on a knob that did everything.
yeah, one's behind the wheel. Fucking buying the cunt in the first place.
But no, I've seen some of the. I think some of the new Range Rovers have got touch controls on the steering wheel, which is awful because you don't know where your thumbs are.
Literally.
There's no like. There's on even on that Defender, it had like a little like
It's
not
got
little
things on
little
them.
braille dots, so you knew where your thumbs would be. And that I got that on, and that wasn't touchscreen. That was actual tactile buttons. But this is what we're getting back to the Teslas and all this shit. It's putting everything on a touchscreen. Is number one. It's cheap, isn't it?
It's cheap.
It's cheap. It's all.
It's all software.
I'm quoting.
That's
Yeah,
it. It's all software.
it's all software. Whereas buttons and integrating all that wire, it's all a lot of wiring, isn't it? At the end of the day, every
Nah,
button's got.
everything's run on CAN bus now, mate.
Well, it's well, you know what I mean. It's cheaper to put a touchscreen
Yeah, of
in,
course
and I'm
it is.
fucking sick of it. I'm glad that it.
Write a letter.
Tell them how
I
mad you are.
need to be heard.
I am outraged. You have digitalized my climate control system. I am outraged at this. You must return it to
Please
buttons.
give me my knob back.
I like the feel of the buttons. I like the touching of the buttons. I want my fucking buttons back. Thank you.
Make Britain great again.
Regards, Reg.
You never would have said. Churchill would never have allowed this.
Thatcher would have clamped down on this like no one's business.
Our boys didn't die on the beaches of Normandy for you to have put climate control beneath a touchscreen menu. Anyway, we're getting way off track. Cybertruck. We're all about the Cybertruck.
Cybertruck.
So we've branched off from the pedal problem. What was the pedal problem that you heard about? Because I think we might have heard of 2 different ones.
So the pedal problem that I heard about was that some of the trim underneath, basically above your shins, where your feet go in the pedal well,
yeah.
the trim that how can I describe it? Like, if you were to run your hand under
the steering column.
the steering column, the trim that you would feel just above the pedals
Yeah.
fell down.
Oh.
And it trapped the accelerator in full chat mode. So basically, the trim would fall, and it would trap the accelerator. The accelerator couldn't return. So
Yeah.
so it would almost like
Gotta go, dog.
yeah, in a big way. So you'd accelerate, and then your pedal, as you pushed it down, would catch under this. It would almost like push itself like a non-release.
Yeah. I know what you mean, like a ratchet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lock it flat.
So then you'd take your foot off the accelerator,
And it'd be like,
but it wouldn't return. You'd be like,
Well, wouldn't it be
oh
like-
my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Yeah. Bang!
Yeah.
Straight into a wall. So they fixed it by basically fitting like this really shit additional layer of carpet. And
That's going to fall down in 6 months.
I think the additional layer of carpet was basically like a wedge to stop the trim that was falling down from falling down.
would do.
Yes.
This is something I would do.
But worse. Because this is like a full chat business. So yeah, this like fix, if you like, in inverted commas, was basically therefore a wedge to stop the trim from falling down. So when you press the accelerator,
yeah.
it didn't get caught anymore.
The other one about the accelerator pedal, I think it's accelerator pedal. I don't want to say too much. I'm not 100% on this. I do get a lot of stuff wrong all the time. The pedal
really?
I know, weird that. The pedal cover was actually coming off the accelerator pedal, which causes a problem in and of itself. Do you know what Tesla's fix was?
Staples.
Gorilla Glue?
Drill a hole and fucking pop rivet and cut back. Literally, that's all he did. Just drilled a hole and fucking pop. Imagine paying
Just get a tech screw. Bang that cunt through.
£100,000. And they're like, yeah, don't worry, it's a recall, it's a small fix.
I think this is my gripe. Like, they command big money.
Yeah, and
Like,
it's not,
They made out of
the
shit.
quality's not there.
If you look, like, 100 grand is a lot of money to anybody, whether you've got it or you haven't. It's a huge figure. It's a huge sum of money. And actually, if you go to market now and you want an electric car, the problem now is there's actually quite a lot of selection.
And this is why Teslas aren't selling. They've been down for 4 quarters now.
Yes.
Their profit's been down for 4 quarters. They've discounted lots and lots of their cars to try and sell them, which has then in turn fucked the second-hand market of Teslas.
Yes, because they're cheap as fuck now.
Yeah. I saw that I think it was Auto Alex bought one
for 8 grand.
8 grand. It had done 300,000 something miles.
Mega miles.
But
fair
It
play.
was a taxi. But it was still all right, wasn't it? Well, not for mint, but it was...
Another podcast. Obviously, I don't listen to any other podcasts because this is the only podcast that I listen to.
This is the only podcast.
Yeah. Fuck knows I plow enough cash into this fucking podcast. No, I'm joking. I listened to another one and they quoted sales figures for electric cars for, I think it was 23 or 24. Anyway, it's recent. Actually, BMW are the leaders.
Really?
Every other electric car producer has dropped in sales value. BMW are now rising. And actually, some of the ones aren't to my taste. Like, I despise...
Stupid little i3?
Oh, God, it's ugly.
No, don't knock that. The i3 is a good car.
It's
the-
ugly.
It's not an attractive car. There are pretty...
I don't think it's ugly. I think there are better looking cars. Personally, I think it's okay.
I like the Ioniq
But-
5 by Hyundai. That is a stunning looking car.
All right, put your dick away.
It is. It looks like it's like a small Cybertruck, but actually built by people that know what they're
Polestar.
doing.
Polestar.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
I quite like the Polestars.
Yeah.
Volvo and that, don't they?
Yeah.
But BMW, the only ones to grow in the electric car market. I despise the whole X1, X2, like basically small shit SUVs.
Oh yeah, the whole crossover
Yeah, man.
vibe. I'm done with it.
I can't get on board with that.
No need for it.
The thing that I can't get on board with is if you want a small car with like 5 seats and a boot, buy 1 Series. If you want a big car that's high up, buy an X3, buy an X5. They're like semi-legit 4-wheel drive cars.
Yeah.
They're like SUVs.
Yeah.
I had an X3 in the past. It was all right. It had a big boot. It had 5 seats. Did the job. It could drag us uphill in snow. Okay. Why do you need an X2? There's no place for that.
I'm going to say something.
Because you've got half a penis.
I'm going to say something now, and it might not be something that anyone has noticed, but I've noticed. I've been watching, and I've been noticing. What the fuck happened to people carriers? Where are they?
Ooh.
They don't make people carriers.
S-Max? Galaxy?
Do they still make that?
Is there an Espace? Nah, it's
No,
definitely not an
it's,
Espace.
no,
It's definitely a Scenic.
Think about all the car manufacturers
The
that used to
Fira?
make people carriers.
Like the Grand Voyager.
I mean, that was a terrible car.
It was, yeah.
When was the last time? When was the last time you saw a people carrier that was less than 5 years old on the road? When was the last time you saw a 2019 people carrier?
There are no MPVs
There
anymore.
are no MPVs anymore, people.
Is that
because
because
they're
all-
all being sucked up by these stupid crossover things that don't have 7 seats.
I mean, what happened to all of the vegetables that were inside these people carriers?
What are the windows they're licking?
well, most of them are not being funny. All the blue badge cars are Vauxhall Agilas now, aren't they? Or were for a long time. But yeah, so there you go. I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no more
Like,
MPVs are not a thing anymore, and it makes me sad because I knew we always take the piss out of them, but now they're gone. I miss them, and I want
Right,
them
okay,
back.
so Ford make one.
Yeah,
Mercedes is a crossover.
Sorry, what?
The Mercedes version is
It's
a crossover.
Everyone wants
It's
everyone wants a
it's a
four-wheel
bit of this
drive
and a bit
looking
of that.
thing.
Is that the B class?
No. It's I don't know.
Oh dear.
Have a look. Oh, that's grim. Oh, is that
dear.
that really? That's that really tall-looking, ugly thing. Oh, yes, I know the one you're on about. Anyway, we're getting off topic again.
Also, have you? I want to mention
Go on.
the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, I was still have
We've
more
not
to say.
talked about that
Yeah.
yet.
Car wash mode.
Oh,
Sorry, what?
it's just-
Educate me, people.
You have to put it in car wash mode to wash it, and people are driving through like water, and it's frying it.
if you go to a car wash,
Yeah.
and you don't put your Tesla Cybertruck in car wash mode, and it breaks, guess what? You don't have a warranty anymore.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
It protects the windscreen wipers, the charge port, and it's something to do with the water getting into some sort of wiring that's...
Why isn't this all protected? Because it fucking rains.
It does peg the question, doesn't
Because
it?
they're not allowed to... You're not meant to wash it in direct sunlight. It's like it's a gremlin. Don't feed it after midnight. Don't get it wet. It's
Like,
a
what
mog.
are they
It's a fucking mogwai.
What a mess.
Imagine spending £100,000
You can't
on a
even
car
wash a
that you
car.
can't get wet.
Even better. Imagine spending £100,000 on a car that Elon told you was going to start at £50,000, but then because you're, let's not beat around the bush, you're either a YouTuber, an influencer, or someone with far more money than sense, you paid an extra $20,000 to have the Founders Edition, which really meant a grand total of fuck all other than a nice etched Founders Edition on the front. And not having the bulletproof windows that you definitely said were going to come with it, even though he fucked that up in the unveiling when
Not
he threw
bulletproof.
that steel ball at it and cracked the window.
Yeah, no.
Also, while we're slagging Tesla, like, let's just be
Oh,
honest.
we could do that. We could do the whole show on Tesla's being crap.
What happened to that like roadster that was meant to be 0 to 60 in a second or something ridiculous?
Never happened, did it? Just never happened.
It's not here, is it?
He
How's
just-
his trucks coming along?
the Tesla semis. I think they have 2 of them, and all of the Teslas are just delivered by Peterbilts and Volvos.
No, really?
Yeah, who'd have thought? Same with the
That's
Nikola.
strange.
Same with the Nikola trucks.
That
they just,
was-
they just didn't.
that's
just
brilliant.
weren't a thing. Just weren't a thing. The video they did was it going downhill coasting. They were like,
Yes.
look at it, the hydrogen. Or was it hydrogen? No, it wasn't hydrogen. It was electric.
It was
wasn't
electric,
And they
yeah.
were like, look at it, hauling. No, it's going downhill.
I got a question for you two.
Go on.
While we're on the topic of electric cars, what is your position on fire?
Fire.
As in,
I'm a man. Of course, I love fire.
I
If I'm not
fucking love
setting,
it.
if I'm not setting fire to something, I'm not happy.
well, as in you crash in an electric car, the batteries catch light and you can't put it out.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
it's called
yeah, and-
thermal runaway.
yeah, They've
That is what it is.
they've put them. I've heard they've put these cars underwater for 24 hours.
Right, so
pulled
what-
them out again, and they still
Yeah, of course they
catch
will.
Fire.
Well, that
Lithium
ship
makes
caught
its own
fire, didn't it?
oxygen.
Yeah, that's no, I know. That's
Luton
fucking-
Airport
what do
caught fire.
Yeah, that's how one of my fucking cars got delayed.
Wankers. So, yeah, with thermal runaway, they have to be in water for at least 3 days,
Yeah,
or burn them
once
to the ground.
it starts, someone tagged me.
It's a chain reaction.
Someone tagged me in something
And
the
it will
other day
just eat until there is nothing left,
of their Roomba catching
and that is
fire.
what it is.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Imagine if Jeff caught fire.
Oh, imagine the floor.
Don't
What the
even
mess.
go there.
Imagine the devastation.
I know. I'd be gutted. Wife would like to do some hoovering. But yeah, the other thing about
It's
the
a shit
Cybertruck
idea.
that made me laugh was guy I follow on YouTube, really like him. Not Tavares. I can't remember his name now. Oh, Hoovie's Garage. I love him. He's got one, bought a Founders Edition because he's not buying it because he's buying it for content. They all are, which is
Yeah,
fair enough,
of
and I
course they
totally
are.
understand that because I did watch the video of when he bought it and showing it off. It's already rusting.
Yes,
Oh, dear.
and that is they're
Because-
supposed to be stainless.
Yeah, no. The problem was when they built these stainless cars. These stainless. They were like, stainless. They wanted to make it bulletproof, didn't they? That was the one thing Elon was like, we're going to make it bulletproof because everyone gets shot up in a Tesla, whatever. No,
Sorry, what?
Yeah,
What, like
well,
heroin or guns? Or both?
yeah, maybe they're all fucking. Everyone that buys one's a bleeding heart liberal, as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, Fentanyl fucking motherfuckers.
Open a real can there, haven't we?
Yeah. So he decided he wanted these things bulletproof, but to make very thick stainless steel flat is fucking difficult. Like, from what I understand, it's really difficult. So he had to kind of compromise. And the stainless steel is not quite as stainless as he'd hoped. So they are.
Yes.
Are there stains on it now?
Fucking alloy in it.
And they're like, the thing is a lot of lessons to be learned here from the DeLorean of old. They're fingerprint magnets. Absolute fingerprint magnets. So you touch it, and like your grease is like the fat grease from your fingers is and it's a bastard to remove.
Yeah, anyone who's worked with
fridge.
stainless will know.
Even in the DeLorean owner's book, it says that you should
Don't fucking touch it.
No.
Don't even look at it.
you wash it with a gasoline soaked rag.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only way to clean. It's like it's steel, isn't it? You clean it with a solvent or something. I'm really interested to see in the next 12 months how they hold up, because
Or not.
well,
Yeah, no.
It's the argument, isn't it?
Reg's prediction.
Here we go.
Reg reckons.
Yeah, this is a Reg.
I
This is a
reckon.
long-term Reg reckons. Unless Tesla, I'm not going to say unless anything. I don't think Tesla's going to be here in 10 years unless they
Start building nice cars.
Well, unless they move on to the technology that everyone should be on, which is hydrogen, but obviously the technology isn't there. But
the technology is there.
The infrastructure
It's
is not. The supporting infrastructure.
The infrastructure, the transportation, and the harvesting is kind of there, but it's
an incredibly
the storage as well.
And it uses a lot of electricity to make hydrogen, so it's kind of a backwards thing at the moment.
I think Tesla will be there in 10 years.
You think?
Yeah, for the reason twofold.
I don't think the cult of personality of Elon will last 10 years.
Fair argument. I think it might, but the fact of the matter is, they are the leaders in electric car. Whether we like it or not, they were the first to commercialise that shit.
Yeah.
They were the first to do a half-decent job. They were the first, certainly in the UK, which ultimately was where it matters for us mainly, to actually get some half-decent infrastructure in place.
Yeah. There's better infrastructure here than there is in America by a long shot for Tesla.
And the infrastructure here is shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's a lesson for me. I think we're getting better in the UK in terms of charging points and being able to actually support your car on a journey that's of any distance. But it's a bit like We Buy Any Car. When you go to sell your car, whether you actually go there or not, who's the first person that you think of? You want to sell it in a quick way, what's the first business you think of? It's We Buy Any Car. Whether you actually choose to go and sell your car that way is a different matter.
because it had no third or fourth synchro.
But it's the first place you think of.
Yeah.
Tesla's the first electric car you think of because they set that premise. They set that rather poor sort of level to compete to.
Yeah, but they have though, haven't they?
Yeah, but the first person to do a half-decent job at getting an electric car out in the market in any form of mass. And for that reason, whether they're shit or not, I think they're fundamentally the leaders, sadly. That might change in 10 years.
That's what I think.
It might, like BMW is a good example. Like I said earlier, like they've overtaken everybody in sales, and
you
people
wouldn't know.
People will learn and get better.
Those Japanese set their minds to Summit. It's fucking.
That's why they're
game
not really
over.
making.
Have you seen these new? I don't even know what they're called. They're fucking weird looking, but new electric cars straight out of China. I want to say they're called like on something.
BYD.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bring your own. Is it bring your own device?
Build your dreams.
Build your dream. Fuck.
Of course. It's literally what
BYD
it's
has been around for a
yeah,
fair amount of time.
So sorry. BYD is like an old IT term. Just like harking back to my days when I had a fucking salary and like life was good.
and time off and no worries.
Yeah, like holiday pay.
Paid
And,
bank holidays, mate. Oh,
and clocking off at 6, 7 p.m. Those were the days.
And not worrying about an invoice from the toll guys.
Yeah.
I got that squared up.
Those cunts. I've just got a notification.
Hold tight, I can draw them.
Invoice for £7,000. What
Only
the
for
fuck?
one episode, mine.
Yeah. Oh dear. Anyway, I think fundamentally Tesla have set the standard. They've been the first to do something fairly well, given the competition that they had at the time.
Anyone who's first to market is always going to dominate
This
the sphere.
This is it. So the challenge that I think they have is keeping that up, because there are other people that are chomping at the bit, which is natural in these circumstances of, you know, when you're the first to create something, everybody else wants a slice of that pie, right?
Look at BlackBerry.
Yes. Have you seen the documentary on BlackBerry?
No, I
the
need
film?
to watch that.
I've not watched the documentary. I've watched the film. That is
Uh,
amazing.
I haven't seen it. Don't spoil it for me.
Oh, it's got Matey from It's Always Sunny in it. It's fucking hilarious.
I really want to watch it.
I'm from fucking Waterloo, where the vampires hang out. So good.
Yeah. I really want to watch that. I've heard some things.
Really good. But yeah, I mean, they got demolished when iPhone rocked up and changed. BlackBerry had it all. They had them. I had a BlackBerry. I love my BlackBerry. When iPhone
So
came
did I.
out, you thought
I was never that gay.
why would I have a BlackBerry?
I wanted to have one because everyone was on BBM.
BBM,
And
huge selling point.
a part of this, some of the things I've heard about the documentary, I haven't watched it, but apparently that was all run off like this really shit single server.
Yeah.
It was just this wank server.
You get to see it behind the scenes. It's
I
mental.
can't wait. I don't think the missus is going to watch it. But
I think it's literally called like BlackBerry or something. It's a film. It was on. I think it's on Prime. You got to pay like a couple quid to watch it. It's so good. Yeah, well worth it. But yeah, So yeah, I think it'll only take somebody else to not reinvent the wheel, but take what Tesla have done and just improve it just that much more that makes them obsolete.
Electric cars are just not the way forward.
I mean, we all know that, but we know that because the infrastructure isn't there, and
It's a shit idea.
And there's just, but the general public don't care, do they? And I mean, I don't care. If I'll be honest,
but if I want to go from here to Scotland,
yeah,
I have to stop.
of course, yeah. I don't think you'd have a Tesla as your sole vehicle.
however, it's fit for a purpose, isn't it?
yeah, this is what I'm
If
saying.
Local runaround,
Yeah, yeah.
you get a little Zoe.
Yeah, this is what I was trying to get her to buy a Honda E if they weren't 36 fucking thousand
They're
pounds.
so cool, but they're so expensive,
They're
aren't they?
so expensive. And I really don't think they're gonna sell many of them.
I think there's a purpose for an electric car,
This is what I mean. Yeah.
and I think the bulk of like people who want to get in a car, do a journey without worrying, are slowly like. Have you seen the government's
Oh, not the fucking government.
Have you seen the government? Not around here.
no politics, Reg.
They dare not.
But have you seen that they've like started to turn on their plans of like introducing electric only by certain date?
2030. They're
now
all the countries are doing it. They're all
they are.
turning their back on it because
course they are.
they've
Takes
seen the
so
fucking
much to mine fucking lithium.
They've seen the light. They've seen the light. They've realised that there's no way we can get the infrastructure in. There's
The problem
no.
is, Reg, the light is not the production of the car, it's the people buying it. And people, just like you said, they want to be able to go to Scotland without fucking stressing. And they can't do it. You
Stop
can't
and charge for 2 fucking hours.
You can't do it. So
The
everyone's
reason-
going hybrid.
Yeah. Plug-in. I don't think plug-in hybrid is a bad thing.
No,
I
don't
think
either.
I think it's the way forward at the moment.
Seen the new C63 AMG?
Is that a plug-in?
It's 2 litre petrol plus electric motor, 700 something horsepower. It's
I think
fucking mental.
It's an affront to God to call it a
Yeah.
C63 if
In
it's
a
got a
s-
2 litre, but
I agree. To me, a C63 is a 6.2.
3 by turbo or whatever. Yeah,
6.2 V8 or very worse 4 litre V8.
yeah.
I'm with you. I'm totally there.
But Land Rover, please stop putting fucking 48-volt battery packs in cars.
That's
It's a fucking tax dodge.
Of course
it
it
doesn't
is.
do anything.
I have one, baby. Yeah, or just ran the.
And they're all
it just
going-
ran the power steering.
It's another thing going wrong.
He turned the car off, the power steering still worked. I was like, you clever cunts. Euro
No,
6.
it's a fucking...
MAYHEM. Mild hybrid
yeah.
electric vehicle. Only hybrid's got like a little battery.
Basically,
fucking time.
someone was in a boardroom and they thought,
How do we dodge this?
Have sold.
Literally.
Sold.
MAYHEM.
Fucking winds me up because they are cunts as well. And everything is so expensive and everything goes wrong. I got a whole episode on this at some point.
Marlon,
Marlon's rant on cars.
we call it. It's going to be a Patreon only episode. There's only the patrons give a fuck about it. Marlon just cuss and cuss and cuss. I'll just sit here quiet. I'll even turn my mic off and just let you go for 2 hours about how much you hate everything about Land Rovers.
But a keg of bud.
I'll just
Wind him up and watch him go.
Yeah, there you go, Marlon. You can keep going, baby. Do you want another one? I'll fill it out for you, boo.
And another thing.
You're joking.
Not another one.
Right, Sam.
Hello.
Your tow car, what is it?
Currently or previous tow cars or both?
Current tow car, and I want the best thing you've towed with.
Okay. Current tow car, we currently run 2 Jeep Grand Cherokees, both slightly older, 3-litre V6 diesels, sort of 56,
Merc
57
engine.
plate. Yes, Merc engine. I have been through the ringer with multiple tow cars, and I can give you some highs and lows. So, start back at the beginning. When we first started towing, I had a Nissan Pathfinder, which was dog shit. It gave me backache. The floor is very high, and the seat is very low, and it's generally shit. Anyone that runs a Navara, what the fuck are you doing? Sort your life out. Have a serious word with yourself. Sell that car immediately. The Pathfinder was a means to an end. That did its job. It done 40,000 miles by the time I'd finished with it in 5-6 months.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Got rid of that sharpish. I then replaced it with a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and it was sort of 57 plate, and that was a step up from the Pathfinder, much more like a car in size, so quite comfortable, had heated seats, good stereo, some Boston audio, like factory
they are in bed with those.
Actually, banging for a factory car system of that age, super good. Ran that again, did another 40,000 miles in sort of 5-6 months, and got rid of that. I then upgraded and thought, right, now's the time. I'm going serious with the delivery company. I'm going to spend good money on a good car. So I bought a Touareg. I bought a 14-plate Touareg, 3-litre V6. Did me right. I've still got it, although it doesn't work now because, as in, I don't put it to work versus it not working. I bought it on 87,000 miles. Currently got 260,000 miles.
They are
in 2 years.
A V6 is a decent engine, but they do love an injector.
So that's the only problem I had. I replaced 3 on one bank. Hindsight is lovely because we look back on things and say, I wish I'd have done this. That cost me about £7,000 to be off the road.
And plus repair,
Yeah. I hired a Ranger for about 6 to 8 weeks. That cost me a lot. So that was the only time it really let me down. Apart from that, bearing in mind I've probably done 14 years worth of average miles in 2 years.
Yeah.
That's mental.
For me, that's a credit to the car. So actually, it earned its money. It did its job. I had some problems, but given what I put it through, it's done a really good job for me.
Yeah.
So would buy another one. Would recommend them. If you want a family car that's nice, for me, it wasn't too in your face. Like I didn't want to turn up to customers in this rig flashy, like, super spangly thing. And
It was something
charging
nice,
too much.
but not.
Yeah, it was respectable. It did the job. Also, it had enough power, sort of 240, 250 horsepower.
Yeah.
That's a good balance for tow cars, I think. I think anything over 220, 230 horsepower is enough. It's not too much where you're burning fuel and it becomes uneconomical, but it's enough that you can pull big stuff up hills and it's okay. So the Touareg lasted a couple of years.
Was she manual, DSG?
Oh, they don't come in manual, I don't think. So DSG only. Like, don't buy a fucking manual tow car. Like, you're just doing yourself
The mileage
injustice.
you do in it.
For traffic only, or like, I think I would burn through clutches if
Yeah.
I had a manual. I had a Disco 3 manual once as a sort of intermediary car.
Awful thing.
It wasn't awful. Like, if I had my way, for towing, I would have a D4 that was reliable.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
they never made one.
Exactly. However, I would.
There is a company that fits the M57 diesel engines from
Ooh.
the Beamers in them.
Ooh, fancy. I genuinely profess that Disco 3, Disco 4 is the best tow car out there when it works.
Yeah.
If I could rely on a D4, I think they're comfy. They definitely do the best job in terms of towing a trailer. They're the nicest place to sit. I can't rely on a D4 to work all the time. So, downtime for the business, I can't have it. So I've gone full circle. Touareg did its years, did loads of miles, did a good job. That then came to end of life. And I put a shit ton of miles on it. Started to look at other things. I bought another Jeep Grand Cherokee as an intermediary, and it did such a good job for such a low price point. I think I paid $2,500 for it.
That's daft.
It's silly money, and I'm not in a position where I'm rolling in cash.
There's no market for them, really, is there? Who goes, do you know what I want? 2007 Jeep the Grand Cherokee.
Grand Jam.
Thank you, man.
But if Kieran at Orley Fox would be super proud of me right now, because from a numbers perspective, if you were an accountant looking at a business and you could invest minimal amount to do the job but still get the job done, like you were saying earlier, Marlon, Merc engine, so sort of reliable, cheap to fix,
Those
Merc
V6s,
diesels.
loads of parts
fantastic.
available.
Suffer from oil leaks, don't they, Chris? Apart from that, swirl flaps, the swirl flap motor in the centre.
Simple stuff. Like it's not like major heart surgery type engine fixes.
Yeah.
For me, it hasn't been anyway.
No.
I've always bought sub 100k cars. I've done 20 to 40, maybe 50,000 miles in them. They've been serviced maybe every 10k. So not like silly intervals. It's not like every 1,000 miles. Keep on top of like maintenance and stuff. Prop shafts can be annoying because like rubbers and stuff wear out, but end of the day we're tugging cars all day, so it's a given.
So you are putting these vehicles through the hardest stuff. Not only are you driving them massive amount of miles every day, you're towing with them. And these vehicles aren't designed to tow. The marketing bullshit will tell you that they're designed to tow all day, every day, but you are putting strain on that car
Big time.
Constantly, non-stop.
So I would, if anybody wants a tow car that will do the job for a low price point, go buy a Jeep. They're not the best.
Don't buy the V8 petrol.
Don't buy the V8 petrol. You will bankrupt yourself. But they're not the best. But for the money, find me a better car that will do the job semi-reliably and keep going. And actually, for me, like, I'll buy one. It's £2,000 to £5,000, depending on like age, mileage, condition, whatever. It'll run for 3 to 9 months. We'll do 20 to 50,000 miles in it, and we'll sell it on. I'll get most of my money back. So from a numbers perspective, it's a no-brainer. We'll cycle through. I've got two.
Because there's no point in going out and buying something new on lease or something because you're
can't do it. Like lease won't let me do the mileage.
Yeah.
And unless you're like super dodgy, which I'm genuinely not professing you do, there's no way around it. Like you buy a new car, as soon I can do 10,000 miles in less than 3 months. And then what do you do? Like
You can't park it up because
I got to pay I got to
pay for
work.
it.
Yeah, that's not an option. A lease that does maybe, I think the largest mileage lease you can get is sort of 40,000 miles, which that would do sort of 6 to 8 months.
And ain't worth a wank.
And then what do you do? You tied into a 2-year lease. You just park it up for 18 months.
Still paying for
that's
it.
That's not fucking viable.
No.
So the only option for something new is an illegitimate route, and I'm not for that. Like, I say we were having this conversation earlier. I physically don't have the time to be super illegitimate and like
run on the bend.
And
I literally I can't keep track of it. I've just got to I get up. I need something to work. I need to get in it. I need to tow a car. I need to be reliable and professional and all those things that I profess
Live
to
tracking.
be, and live tracking. I need to just like get in something and do it. And for me, like Jeep's been all right.
Yeah.
So that's what we're on at the moment. Best tow car I've ever had. It's got to be a V10 Touareg.
Oh.
It was the most nerve wracking. I remember I bought one. Must have been. It was an older one. So the first generation
I know the
Touareg
ones you're on
that had
about,
the
yeah.
V10 in.
Yeah.
My old boss had one. The cunt of a boss.
They look like
Fantastic
They look
car.
like an inflated Mark V Golf, don't they?
Yeah.
They're
That's it.
huge.
Yeah. Like a Mark V Golf that had been stung by a bee.
Literally, yeah.
So, an itch to scratch, I bought one and I turned up to collect it with a Jeep Grand Cherokee, trailer on the back. And I thought, fuck this. I've just bought this V10.
Swapping around.
I'm going to swap this car around. So, detached the trailer, put the Touareg on the trailer. On the trailer? Put the Jeep on the trailer, strapped it down, and I towed the Jeep home with the Touareg, and it was like it wasn't fucking there. It was mental. I've never towed with anything like a V10 Touareg.
And how much fuel did it use?
A lot.
All of it.
Yeah, all of it.
Diesel, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I did about 13 or 14 to the gallon.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's not viable.
Didn't they do a W12? I'm
Good question.
pretty sure they did.
Let's establish some facts. The VW Group 100% did a W12.
Yeah.
It was in the Phaeton
Phaeton.
and Bentleys.
Yeah.
Same shit, right?
Same shit.
However, don't know if it went in the Touareg. I'd love it if it did. I'm down for that sort of shit.
They did.
I really want a W12 A8 at the moment.
They did a. Yep, they did. They did a. They did a
A8L.
Yeah, they did
Yeah,
a
man.
W12 Touareg.
Full
What's the
executive
car?
spec.
It is a 6-litre, 444 brake horsepower, 0 to 60 in 5.2, which is pretty fucking quick.
That's
in a
quicker than
The
Wife.
weight of it.
curb weight 2.5 ton.
Yeah.
Only
She a big old girl.
Looks like it was only made in 2005. 600 newton meters of torque. Yeah, it's 48 valve. Fucking hell. Yeah, 6-speed. It looks like quite the beast. I'd love to know what the fuel consumption
I want
is
to say
of
they
it.
put a W12 in a Golf as well.
Going back to the Touareg, I've got the stats on it. It does an average of 13.4 miles to the gallon.
I can contest to this.
This W12, and it giving a less than impressive 296 mile range out of its 100-litre tank.
Holy shit!
That's nuts. I'm getting pissed off with that Defender out there doing 300 miles to a tank. And I'm like, I'm constantly
What you
filling
need,
this fucking
what
thing
you
up.
need, Reg,
Yeah.
is a Nissan Note.
Hi.
That 60-litre diesel tank, yeah?
Go
That'll
on.
last you
Many moons.
about 420 miles.
That's insane. That Defender, I used to do 500 mile to a tank. And if it was a motorway run, I wasn't being a cunt, it'd do 600 miles. Which was, I mean, yeah, pretty damn good. But
How big's the tank?
used to be able to squeeze 90 in it if I ran it down to about 2 miles of range.
Don't do that.
Not my problem anymore, boo. It's gone.
Not my problem.
Not my problem.
Well,
Don't do that.
my old Touareg that I had a 100-litre tank, and I later found out that that's not actually standard.
Really?
Yeah, a friend of mine bought another Touareg, same age, like similar engine. I think it had like a 70-litre, so I must have like bought one unknowingly with some
Someone, yeah,
upgrade.
I think, yeah, like dealer options. Like even this is how sad well, not even how sad that I know this, just sad that it was available on the L322 Range Rover. You could pay to have an optional extra that was a larger windscreen washer tank.
Fuck
off! Seriously, you can have 5 litres or 8 litres. Oh heavens! I don't wish to lift the bonnet that many times, Jeffrey. That's for the dirty men in the shop to do.
I must wash the peasants off my windscreen. I'm running far too many dickheads over.
God
I must
alive,
clean them off.
I keep telling me to stop at these zebra crossings, but they're always in the fucking way.
They could just fuck off.
Can we have the headlight washers on as well, please? It's a very good tint of red.
To be fair, if you took the headlight washers as an optional extra, and it's more water being used. I don't want to get my fingers dirty lifting that bloody bonnet catch. Yeah.
Sam, can you tell me about your fucking weird D3?
Ooh.
Because, like, I've seen a lot.
Okay.
I've never seen one.
Where do you want to start?
What the fuck is it? So it's got a V6 petrol engine.
It stumped me and Marlon, and between us, we have a wealth of Land Rover knowledge. I know about the autistic shit. He knows about the engines. And it had us both like...
V6 petrol. I've never seen any Land Rover with a V6 petrol apart from the newer stuff.
I even spoke to one of my friends, Dan. Shout out to him. He's the one with the cum cube. And he is as autistic as I am when it comes to Land Rovers.
Box.
And he was like, no. I was like, I'm telling you. He was like, no. 4.4 V8. They didn't do a petrol. I'm like, I said the same and they did. And he was like, show me. So I was like, there you go. And he was like,
what the fuck is this?
I don't believe you.
Factory coils.
Okay, calling all Land Rover paedophiles, please report to the doghouse immediately.
I volunteer as tribute.
Hello. So I have a D3 at Land Rover Discovery 3. It is a petrol 4-litre V6. I can tell you it's pretty pointless, but I don't think any other person has one in the UK.
Where was it meant to go? Eritrea?
So the information that I got fed when I bought it was an order specific for
It was an African country, wasn't it?
somewhere fucking foreign. I don't know. I want to say it begins with an A.
Israelites.
Antigua, maybe.
Nah, that might have been it, yeah.
So
Africa? No.
it was a UK build, but destined for abroad. And upon, when a car gets beyond the point of build where it's sort of basically built.
Yeah.
But the person that's ordered it can cancel.
Yeah.
So I got told that it was a cancelled order for Antigua. So it basically came with no mod cons. So
Just off the coast of the British Virgin Islands near Montserrat.
cool. Thanks for sharing.
Thought I'd add that.
Yeah, I
'cause
still don't know
fucked
where the
up
fuck
thinking it was in
Montserrat is.
Africa.
That's really good.
It's the sort of the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, all those islands down there.
Very
it
nice. So it's very, very basic. It's no air suspension, no terrain response. So you can't alter
Mud, gravel, snow.
none of that shit. I'm not even sure it's got aircon. It's got an econ button, which
I did see an aircon compressor at the top.
Okay, cool. So maybe it's got aircon. You'd fucking want that in a hot country, right?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it's got it. No steering wheel controls, no cruise control, no stereo controls. It's very, very, very basic, but it does work, which is like revolutionary.
For a Discovery?
This is the thing, right?
The only thing it does have, which is a potential problem, electric handbrake. But
They wouldn't have gone to the effort of making a mechanical handbrake
For that one order.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, we all know the little cord that you can pull to like release it.
Yeah.
So worst case scenario, just
Handbrake
sack it
delete,
off.
like the Passat.
Yeah.
This is me getting into my Land Roverism now. When it came to selling Land Rovers into these countries that were, I'm not going to say less developed, I'm not going to go that far, but don't have the sort of service backup that you would have over here or in America. Like, first of all, they probably don't, they may, probably not, but may not have diesel as something that you can buy as a private citizen. It might just be for commercial vehicles like lorries and whatever else. And also, the reason it probably won't be specced up is, again, they don't really have
service backup.
They don't
Got
have
the
a
parts.
service backup to fix it. They have the parts. Parts might take months to get there. And putting that 4-litre V6 a Ford engine in it is probably, from what I understand, quite a basic engine. So it only needs basic diag tools and basic tools to fix it, and it's vaguely easy to work on. The same in, I believe, South Africa. A lot of Land Rover 90s were sold out there with petrol BMW engines, believe it or not, from factory, which is probably why you've got like in the grand scheme of things, quite a low spec but really awkward spec D3 because that's the market that they have out there in these countries for them.
Totally.
But it's so weird that it was a cancelled order and then just ended up in the UK market.
Where did you acquire it from?
So I got offered it by rewind like an hour. Like we discussed, my original business was to find cars for people. I've still got inroads into the motor trade, and I still get offered stuff or see cars being offered within the motor trade, and sometimes I'll buy that. And this was one of those. I saw it being offered for sale by a sort of a more local We Buy Any Car type service. They'd taken it in, and actually a lot of business goes on just selling it in between motor traders. And I can still access that, which is really nice sometimes. So I bought it. I'd never seen one before. The irony is, when I saw it advertised, when you see a car and you're like, you don't know what you have.
Yeah. Oh, those are my favourite things.
Yeah. You're like, I know something's going on here. I've never seen a petrol disco that's not a V8. And I think they advertised it as a V6 2.7.
Yeah, that's what it comes. That's what it reg checked as.
Really?
We reg checked it. It comes up as a 2.7.
It's definitely fucking not.
Oh yeah, no, we know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Drinks fuel like a fucking 4 litre. I tell you that for nothing. But something didn't add up with the description that I saw. And you're just like, I just don't care. I just want to buy this car. I just want to get it in my possession.
Yeah, and
all I care about,
Yeah.
all I care about is buying it and
not letting anyone else have it,
and not letting anyone else have it.
Going to someone that doesn't appreciate it.
Exactly. I've not seen one ever that's mentioned V6, so I want it. So I got it, and because I've fucking bored you with, the story of some things that I've done to it.
I've been very involved in the build.
I was under strict instructions that I must not do anything that isn't Land Rover specific. You must
Land Rover only
buy
options. If it's something like that,
yeah, he was
somebody
like,
autistic.
I might do grey wheels. No, you will not. You will spray them silver, Sam.
You will spray
silver.
them. I will fucking hunt you. So yeah, I've sort of modified it back to stock. It came on 17s, which were perfectly fine. I just didn't like them, so I bought some factory 19s. They've come with some nice tyres, like some nice grabbers, so they're on there. I've taken some tinted windows off, like tried to like make it a little bit more OEM, sort of factory fresh. I've spent, no word of a lie, I think about 13 hours cleaning the fucking inside.
I can only imagine who had it before.
I've had...
A lunatic owns a 4-litre V6 Discovery. A fucking lunatic.
Crackhead.
It's also like that sort of cream interior.
That horrible fucking wanky...
Any level of mud
gets in the grain of the leather.
Immediately apparent. I tell you what, I bought this kit off Amazon, which cost me, I think, 15 quid of brush heads and scrubbing brushes and attachments. They are the fucking bollocks.
Go on a dual impact.
Yes.
They are. Have you used a toilet scrubber yet? Oh, they're unreal.
Yes.
You ever scrub your toilet with a fucking
on
impact driver? It's amazing.
Yeah.
No, I got a cleaner shag.
Anybody go and buy that pack. Like, go and buy that multi-pack of Amazon for 15
do
quid.
Do tiles, do everything.
Yeah. They work on seats, leather cleaner. You can then, like, hose it off and use it on the tyre walls. It'll get all the mud off.
I was going to say, the tyre walls.
Different levels of softness to the brushes as well.
Yeah,
so
if you've got any like really like
paint-ish.
pernickety, like shit alloy wheels that have got sort of like bits and stuff that you can't get your hand in, just drive that fucking toilet brush attachment straight in. Send that brush in. Boom, magically cleaned. Yeah, I've gone through like 5 or 6 Ryobi battery powers just cleaning the leather interior, but it does look nice, and it has come up really well. So we've got a couple more bits left to do. I want to get a factory stereo back inside, and some arsehole of a previous owner has put a screw through the dashboard to mount like this really shit phone mount. I'm just like, when you question people and you think, why have you done this?
Yeah.
Yeah, now I've got to buy new like dash around.
I knew a farmer that used to stick used syringes into his the needles into his dashboard. Yeah, that's the kind of people we share this world with, who breathe the same oxygen.
For what reason?
Well, because he'd used them.
Don't know
And
what to put 'em.
he didn't have a sharps box, so he stuck them in the dashboard. These people walk among us.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, a couple more jobs. I just want to get it like a really, really nice original car, like Land Rover spec. I'm going to try and find, because it's got no like. It didn't even come with a nav. Somebody's like,
I saw that.
somebody's got a Garmin and then created this like, I've yet to pull it apart, but they've
carpeted what looks like it's kind of semi-van build.
Yeah.
They've carpeted like a little bit of maybe 3mm chipboard and inset the Garmin into it and then hardwired the car.
Where the factory nav would be.
Yeah.
I've got built-in nav now.
I'll put a
built-in.
photo on the Discord of basically like the interior, and patrons can see what I'm dealing with. I mean, the irony is like it sort of works, but then
It can't sell it like that.
I can't sell
not
it.
if you're not for who you're trying to sell it to.
I can't put my name to that.
No.
I
Did you do
can't-
this? No, I didn't. Why haven't you fixed it?
Why haven't you done anything about it? Oh, I don't know. I'm really sorry. I'll knock £1,000 off.
Yeah, that's what you end up doing. Well, if it wasn't for this shit, I probably would have paid you more. But it looks like some monkeys had hold of it at some point, and that
some
doesn't
retards mounted a Garmin in the dashboard.
and that doesn't lead me to believe this car's been well looked after. But look at the hours of cleaning on the leather. I cannot.
look how
The
nice
Garmin
this
in the
is.
dashboard has not sold me.
Yeah. So I just want to get it like meant. I need to find a radio that is like POVO spec. Do you know how hard that is to find like POV spec stuff?
I would you try find like a pre-98 radio for a
It's
P38.
so fucking hard.
Impossible.
I might have one.
Okay, hit me up. I'll pay you really even more money than I pay you now.
Millions.
Separate.
That's
Tens
personal
of-
finances.
This goes in the personal bank, not the doghouse business. But yeah, the D3 is. When some people say like, find another like one of a kind.
Oh, I hate that.
I hate
you
to
won't.
say-
You won't find another one like. Yeah, well, give me 10 minutes and an
Yeah.
internet connection.
Ta-da!
Yeah. Oh,
Here we
look,
go. Here's
better than-
7.
Better than yours. Lower
Yeah.
mileage, lower price.
Yeah, here are 7 that I could buy and probably will because
I know what I've got.
you cleared it. I honestly believe, like, I would challenge every listener: find me another disco with a V6 petrol engine for sale in the UK, or just in the UK. Like, I'll take a non-for sale one. Find another.
I'd never even heard of that configuration.
Me and him were like, nah, he's got it wrong. It's not
Yeah.
petrol. It's a V8 or it's a diesel. No, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
This is my job.
Prick.
Yeah.
Guy sends us like loads of money to sponsor the podcast, but he
knows-
doesn't know what the fuck
Full of
he's
shit.
talking about.
He
Yeah.
might be in the motor trade, but I
Dickhead.
know about Land Rovers.
What a dickhead.
Oh,
Fucking
dear.
loser.
That's a good place to end it.
It is.
Right. Yeah, mate, thanks for coming down. Thanks for
Really
your...
Thank you for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you for your continued support of the show. It's
My pleasure.
very much appreciated. Yeah, it's been epic. It's good to finally have you on and hear the story behind the AUTOMOVER.
Whee! As Charlie would say.
70% off.
70% off, so I hear.
75% off. Fuck it.
For the first person. No, I'm joking. I know I make these offers. I'll end up paying for them.
75% off for the next 10 minutes on this day.
At time of recording.
Of recording, yeah.
Right, get the story up.
Right. Thanks everyone for listening. Sam, thanks ever so much for coming down, man.
No worries.
Thanks
for having me.
Thanks for supporting the show. It's hugely appreciated. We wouldn't, if without you and the patrons, we would have no show. So it does mean a lot. Yeah. Right. Any further ado, I've been Reg,
I've been Marlon.
I've been the AUTOMOVER.
and that's the end.
Oh.
Oh.
Until next week.
Whee!